Very warm good morning to everyone. So it's my privilege to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Vasant Kumar Verma sir. Uh, so it is really my privilege to introduce sir because when I see his resume, it's say a lot. First of all, he is an alumnus of Beats Pilani and the Birla School Pilani. That is a very prestigious institute. He has almost 19 years of teaching experience. And as far as research and awards is concerned, he is the best researcher and academic award in 2021, 2022, and he is a professional member of NBA, Taikothon, AICT, MHRD. He received Hackathon Advisor Award in 2017. He has also got the Best Faculty Award in IET Alwar and OIST Bhopal. He is an expert member of an Amity University, Tajikistan. He is a Board of Studies member of Gita University, KUK, RNB Global University. He is an exam expert committee member of PTU Punjab. He is an editor of Benathan Science Publisher, and he is a reviewer of numerous Office Coopers and SCI journals. He has reviewed more than 100 plus international conferences and the journals, and he has been a PhD expert in many organizations. He has one patent selected by my government of India for innovative purpose. So with these words, I would like to invite sir to say to give his talk. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, Srivastava. I'm audible?
Hello, sir. My name is Pratish, Dr. Pratish from Amity.
Okay. Sorry. Pratish, sir, I'm audible?
Yes, sir. You are very much audible.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Thank you, Ranjan, sir. Wonderful, given that. Sir, I share my PPT.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
I think visible my PPT.
Yes, sir. It's busy.
Okay. Yeah. So
make it in a full screen.
Sorry.
Make it in a full screen. In a presentable mode. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's fine. Clear. No problem. Please start, sir.
Yeah. Good morning to all of you, all joining participants from different states or different locations. Myself, Dr. P.K. Verma, already explained by the Ranjan sir. Today, we are taking something different topic, not like usual topic we have to use in the data science. And very emerging part of that particular right now in the any like a computer science or like even the mechanical or like some other field like also data science or AI and machine learning are very popular field. In the particular in my title, you will see that data, the new value of data. Data is the most important for the any type of like data science or big data or like machine learning. This data is very important to the particular all organization, all the like a bigger company, they are using data. So today agenda of my talk is digital technology. What exactly the major role of digital technology in the data science or machine learning area, and what exactly digital data, because today in the scenario everybody is focusing on the digital data, how to like use the digital data, how to process the digital data, and how to use the digital data in the business purpose also. Majorly we are using the business purpose, how to improve turnover, our profit in the particular business. Dark data. So it may be like some of people maybe heard about the particular dark data. Dark data is a very most important today in the data science or big data. So I will tell you that what exactly dark data. Intelligence data, because from the last 40 to 50 years, we are studying data information. But today we are talking about the intelligence data. We know that we have a lot of data in the world, but we need intelligence data in the scenario. History of data science. So we will discuss history of data science. What exactly data science history and what are the scenario? Role of big data. What exactly big data role in the data science? Because we move normal data to big data. Today is a very popular field of big data. And in the every organization, they are using this concept of big data. So I will tell you what exactly big data or how to use big data in industries, or like how to process the big data in the with the help of data science. And what are the exact present, past, future of data science? Because so many persons are focusing on the learning the data science or like data analytics, this current scenario. But I tell you that data science is not a new field, because this data science is now terms we have given that data science, but in the previously 40 to 50 years back, we use with a different name, but data science was exist with like data mining. You people know you heard about the particular data mining. So this concept data science, we have to generate it from the data mining. Some applications of a particular data science or some tools, or if you have any questions. So this is a very important person, Steve Jobs. So everybody know this person, and this person was the major he built the particular Apple company. He was a major person, co-founder or CEO of the Apple. He told that technology is nothing, because people are focusing on the we need technology, or we need.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Your PPT is stuck somewhere. Once, and it is only in the first slide.
Now is
it's
okay?
Visible. It's yes, sir. It's coming.
Moving. Is it everything is fine?
Yeah, first slide is coming. I think some problem in the internet. I think it's okay.
So is it fine? One slide is there.
Okay, sir. We can go. Slide is, but it's not that much clear. Okay, sir. It's fine. It will. Please go.
So can you tell me which slide you are looking like?
I think Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's it. So we are talking about the particular technology, and Steve Jobs he said technology is nothing, because we need some some smart people, some good people. They have to manage the technology, and if you give the particular some software or some tool in the particular smart person, so they can do wonderful things in the particular any sector, like whatever IT sector or some manufacturing sector, whatever that. So technology is nothing. We need some smart people, and these smart people, they have to know about the particular how to use the particular tool. Because in the market we have a lot of tools in the data science and machine learning, AI. There are a lot of tools. Most of the tools we don't know particular which area we have to use. I tell you that a lot of tools we have to use in the artificial intelligence and data science. So thing is that we need some good people, smart people. We can faith on the particular people, and the people, they have to use this particular tool, and they have to do some better things in the sectors. Ranjan sir, is it fine? Slide is moving. Ranjan
sir, okay, fine. It's moving.
Can you see that next slide? Did 1963?
One newspaper clip is there.
Yeah. Now
yes,
fine.
Yeah.
So in 1963 newspaper, one of the lady, Mrs. G, she just anticipated like that. One day we will keep the mobile phone or like handset in our pocket. So as you assume that in 1960 there was no introduced in the world. First mobile in 1973 came. Motorola company, they have to introduce. It was around 2 kg weight of this particular mobile handset. With the particular technology, 1G we have to use with one of the biggest company of Japan. So you assume that in 1963, we have anticipated that one day we will keep the mobile phone in our pocket. So thing is that we have to dream. We have to dream, and this dream we have to fulfill that in the with the help of technology, with the help of tool. So without dream, nothing is a technology. And my role model, Jack Ma. So Jack Ma is you can learn a lot of things from this person. He started his journey. Alibaba.com, you know very well about the particular. He's a co-founder of. He started that particular Alibaba.com, and he will tell you that what exactly how we have started the Alibaba in the world. Initially, they started only 10 to 15 people, and they have to start it in the apartment in one 2-room set. They have to start this particular company, Alibaba.com. Right now, you can see Alibaba.com, the biggest company in the world. And he will tell that what exactly you have to start. You have to dream. Without dream, you cannot imagine the particular in the future or like what you are thinking. I just showed that small video of this Jack Ma, what he is explaining about the particular.
I would love to discuss.
Sir, is it visible, audible,
Yes.
this video?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Something about the failures, mistakes we make.
Kindly,
Yeah, is it okay?
sir, it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing I feel most thankful is all the mistakes, all the refuse that I got. Because without that, there will never be Alibaba. In the past 18 years, every day we make mistakes. Every day we were rejected. I think being rejected, being refused by people, that is very natural. Why people should help you? You have to prove yourself, then people will help you. Alibaba was not made today. Alibaba was made 18 years ago in my apartment. The believing that using internet empower others, using internet to help young people, small business, and women will have bright future. So it's been 18 years hard working we came here. Today, there are a lot of books about us. I don't read these books because I think these books not about us. People love to see successful stories, but most of the success stories, they succeed because of the mistakes. I encourage all the young people, entrepreneurs, to learn from the mistakes. Do not study successful stories. Successful stories in the Harvard Business School, normally, there are a lot of things behind you don't know. But if you learn from the mistakes, if you learn, especially the failure case studies, it's going to help you. What I want to say, it's not about you. You learn from mistakes does not mean you will avoid mistakes. You will learn the attitude towards these mistakes and never give up, fighting again. Of course, it's very painful when you're rejected, when you're refused. I went all around looking for money. Nobody give us the money. I all go around looking for partnerships. Nobody believe small business and e-commerce in China will work. I was very painful that day, and when I saw one movie, Forrest Gump. I love that movie, especially the sentence that Mom said, life like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. So stay full. Stay foolish to your dream and continue to fight. So this is what we did as an entrepreneur. We never complain. When people complain, the opportunity comes. So if you can solve the complaints, that is your opportunity. So I love to, when I talk to the entrepreneurs, I feel excited. When I'm sitting there listen to the entrepreneurs talk, I feel inspired. I feel we are the same animal. The difference between big company and small company is not about revenue. It's about the dream. The small companies have the dreams. Most of the big companies, when they get certain size, they only have KPI. As I said to myself early days, if there are 9 rabbits on the ground, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself, stick to one rabbit. If you have the dream, stick to the dream. That is what I believe. Alibaba started 18 years ago. We never change our dream. We believe e-commerce. We believe internet. We believe by helping young people, helping small business, and helping empower women, we will have the future. This is what we believe. 18 years ago, 18 people in my apartment. When we had this dream, when we started, everybody say, you guys are crazy. How can you do e-commerce? No infrastructure, no credit system, no logistics, no this, no that. How could you do internet? We say, if there's no logistics, let's build it. If there's no credit system, let's build it. That is why they need entrepreneurs.
Because in this video, you have to see a lot of things, or you can learn a lot of things from this video. And he's focusing this particular part. And he discussed one of the movie, Forrest Gump, a beautiful movie. You have to see that because that's why we have to show this video. Because if you want to become a good data scientist or good data analysis, so in 1 day or 1 month, you cannot become a data scientist. So you have to need practice, you have to give some time. Otherwise, if you're thinking shortcut way, you will become a data scientist or data. I believe that it's not possible. So you have to wait, you have to dream. That's why he's saying that in the big companies, small company, they have a different scenario. Small company, they have a dream. Big company, they have KPI, key performance indicators. They have to focus only the key performance indicator. They don't have dream like that. But small company, they have to focus on the dream. We have dream. So if you want to become a good, in the particular market, so you have to start with the dream. Digital technology, industrial revolution, we have to say like that. And you can see in the particular different phases, we have to see different revolutions. And today 5.0 they have to enter in the market. 4.0, you know very well about the particular 4.0 digitalization. So 1.0, starting from that, we have to start. So it was the first revolution, we can say in 1765 or 80s, mechanization. So first time they have to introduce some mechanical tools or mechanization process. We have to start it in the particular different areas. And we have to set up some power plant. We have to set up some water plant, something like that to equipment we have to use in the mechanized process. In 2.0, in around the 1870s, so electrification. So we have to focus on the technology advancement, or we can say that we have to, or we can say in the electricity, gas, oil, we have to enter this particular industrial revolution. Third revolution, we have to focus on the automation in 1970s or 69. And they have to focus on the energy power. With the help of nuclear energy or energy power, we can make it the electricity, or we can make it in the particular industry. So they have to introduce telecom or some computers we have to introduce in that particular 3.0. So we do some automation process with the help of this technology. And 4.0, they have to focus at 2011, 2005 or 11, we started the digitalization. And this digitalization, they have to focus so many things like that in the entry of the particular digital technology, we can say like that. We have introduced some robots, some advanced robots, artificial intelligence, big data, or some different AI techniques we have to introduce in the 4.0. And 5.0, this is a personalization process, we can say. In the particular, like a man and machine, they have to using the compatible like cognitive computing, some superpower computing, quantum computing introduced like that, we can say, and some mass type of customization personalization we have to use with the for the particular persons or particular humans. So these are the like industrial revolution we have seen from the 1.0 to 5.0. So digital technology is nothing like that. We are talking about a particular like electronic tools, and these electronic tools may be like some smart gadgets, some systems, some resources, some servers, or some like a particular process we have to use. And these digital technology, we have to process the data. How to process the data? We have a lot of data and store the data in a particular scenario with the help of different functions. The ultimately goal of the particular digital technology that we have to improve the productivity, we improve the efficiency in the particular sector. So we can see some examples of digital technology like digital cameras, personal computers, and devices. They have to do some fast transmission, some fast computation process, and to store the particular data and process the data with the help of different digital technologies or digital tools. So digital technology, directly or indirectly, we are using. We have to live, we have to play, we have to learn, we have to work with the digital age. So everywhere, every time, we have to connect it with the digital technology. So you can see like that what exactly, how much important of the particular digital technology in our in daily life or daily our routine work or some learning process like that. So digital technology most important if you want to become successful in the particular IT sector, you want to become a good data scientist or some other like that. So digital technology most important play in that particular part. These are some basic types of digital technology. Normally we have to use. It's not like that only limited. We have a different some other types of technology is also available like that. These are some basic digital technology we have to use. You can see like that information technology we have to use in the business technology. As you know that in the business sector, they are using lot of digital technology. In communication technology, they are using this particular digital technology, operation technology, educational technology, some adaptive artificial intelligence, some super intelligence. They are using digital technology, or even in the blockchain technology, because a coming feature, like blockchain technology will play the vital role in the IT sector. You know that India's first national digital university, and if you know that this particular India's first digital technology. So in the answer, could you see that or could you tell me that where is that particular first digital university in India? Anybody can write in the chat box. India's first digital university. Lovely professional university. I'm talking about the particular, like a digital university. I tell you that. First time in India, we have to introduce a digital university in the Kerala, and I think in 2022-23 we have to introduce this university. And Governor of Kerala, they have to introduce this university, and it is a first digital university in India. And the main goal was this university. We have to establish the particular like all the upgrading our traditional decades and old like state government. They have to introduce all the traditional things. They have to convert in the digital way. They have to use the everything like whatever like a circular, whatever like information they have to use in the digital way. So advancement in technology. So if you look at that in the advancement technology, earlier we use like a telephone. Right now we are using smartphone. Earlier we used in India like ambassador. Right now we are using some very like sensor based or power full AI based or some different like technology based vehicle or car we are using like that. So in the technology, if you will not do advancement, there will be difficult to survive in the today's scenario. So you can see in the cell phone how to revolution they have to come that particular like from model 1 to like right now we are using some very better smartphone in the particular telecom communication. So new day, because every day we have to see new tool in the computer science or like in artificial intelligence or data science and machine learning. We are looking every day new tool. I'll tell you that what exactly tools are in data science and machine learning. Because the difficulty is that like any software programmer, software engineer, or some like data analysis or data scientist. So they have to learn new tool, because today you are using whatever tool, you don't know after 1 month, 1 year, this tool will be will be there or not. In the market, maybe like new tool is available like that, and you have to learn. Otherwise, you will not survive in the this IT. So these are the like some popular 120 AI tools. Most of the tools we have not heard about the particular part, even not familiar about the particular these some of the AI tools, but in the market they have to exist. In the particular we have to see in the particular diagram. In the writing, we have like some set of tools. Productivity, we have some set of tools. For video purpose, we have some set of tools. For marketing purpose, we have some set of tools. Chatbot, we have some set of advanced chatbot tools. We have designing tools. So you can see like that, all are the AI tools. And every company, they are using these tools. It's not like that only for the visible on the slides or in the picture. Every tool company using. So the thing is that every day we have to see new tool. So it's difficult for that particular any like data scientist or like any software engineer. So they have to learn. They have to learn new technology. If you look at that in the data science, we have a lot of tools. If you look at that process for that particular data science, source data, we have a source data like we have MongoDB, Hadoop, SAP, Cassandra. We have stored the data. We have Oracle, SAP, MySQL, PostgreSQL, HBase, some other like convert ETL tool, Cognos, we have like that ETL tool, some other ETL tools available. Transform the data, high exploratory data. We have a lot of tools, R, SAS, Veka, Maho, ggplot, SAP, Python, HANA, Cognos, Tableau. There are a lot of tools in the data science. It's not like only limited tools. We have a number of tools in the data science. And these tools, every company, they are using. It's not like that only selected tools we are doing. Every company, they are using these particular types of tools in the market. So if you look at that, like what technology or which tool majorly using by the particular in the IT sector or in the IT scenario. So if you look at that in the particular picture, in the Python is a like most popular requirement of the particular all like company, IT sectors company. So 60% companies, they are focusing on the Python. Even if you look at that like R programming, SQL, or like
hello, excuse me, sir. Hello.
Excuse me, hello. Sir. Yes.
Sir, the content you're showing on your PPT, they are totally blurred. They are not visible. Is it possible that if it could be refreshed at your side. That may be problem at your side, because every participant they are sending, the content is not visible in the visible.
Sir, Verma sir, I think some internet issue is there from your
Dr.
side.
P.K. Verma, is it possible if you could refresh your screen?
Verma sir, can you reopen the PPT once again?
There may be some problem may be there.
Some problem is there in your
Yeah,
network.
problem is there.
Just a second. I just connected with the.
It's a blurred, totally blurred. Actually, these are not the texts. Actually, these are the
Text are
images,
this,
and they have been stashed. That is the reason they are showing blurred. See here, the data science tools are showing everything is blurred, because this is
Yes.
an image, and
image.
maybe the size of that image was the somewhat minimum size, and you or maybe the some
Maybe
another-
like from my computer is very clearly visible. That's why.
When it not go into the internet, sir,
Uh-huh.
due to some internet issue, it might
still
be
it's not
some
blurred.
problem.
Still it's a blurred.
Still,
The content is
still
not
blur.
visible again.
The content is not
Same problem
visible.
is again.
Again, is
Because-
same problem or like.
Yes, sir.
The same problem is there again.
Sir, skip those slides which contains the image,
Okay.
and
Now is okay. This slide is okay.
Again,
okay,
sir,
sir.
it's-
Again, it's blur, but
somehow, sir, it's fine, sir. Just continue with the same, sir. Please be continued, sir.
Yeah,
sir,
because
please
from my
continue, sir.
yeah, from my side is everything is anyway.
There might be some problem with the internet also, sir.
Yeah. So I'll try to skip some image types of slides. So data driven. So as we know that in the business, data driven is most important. And if you look at that data driven, we have some set of procedures, some set of phases we have to apply for that. So you can see in the diagram, we have a data, source data. And this source data we have to collect from the different sources. And we have to process the reporting, some reporting tool. It may be like Tableau, it may be like Power BI, ClickView. It may be like we can use some programming like Python or some other like R programming and do some analysis, because in the different types of analysis is there, some descriptive, prescriptive analysis, there are some predictive analysis, different types of analysis we have to use. And based on that, we have to do some actions, what actions we want to take it like that. And based on that, we have to check out the final result, what exactly we are looking for that. And based on that, we have to take the better decision. So if you look at that data driven, the main purpose is that we have to take better decision, or like we have to take some advantage and we can predict some in the business scenario, what we can do in the business. This again picture, is it okay? This picture is?
No, sir, it's blur. Actually, in steps, the text written behind step 1, step 2, it's completely blur.
Oh. Text is visible, like determine business questions, or is it this part is?
Only heading is visible. The 5 essential steps
Oh.
for implementing data-driven decision making.
Okay, I'll try to skip that.
Okay.
So why need a data driven in the particular like a business? So if you look at that, the main reason of the data driven the decision. We want to take it the decision, and this particular data driven every business they have to use, and based on that, like any company, any owner of company and a CEO of company, they have to take the decision, and based on the data driven, they can plan for the future aspects. So they have to make better decision based on the data driven, improve some business strategies. They can improve some business process, what we can do in the future also like that based on the data driven. And they have to gain some more customers, and you keep it the old customer also with the help of data driven. So we can keep it some our old customers, or we can add some more new customer with the help of data driven. What kind of customer we can focus on that? Is there any old customer? So what we can provide the facility, what we can provide the some additional facility to the particular our old customers. Increase some revenues or profit with the help of data driven. So dark data. So dark data is a very most important today in the data analysis or data science. So you look at that in the picture, 80% data is like hidden and 20% data is visible. The thing is that dark data, whenever you have to collect to fetch the data from the different sources. So at the time, that dark data is also available in our sources. Now, what we can do that for particular part, because dark data, sometimes what happens that they are not useful in our data analysis. So if you look at that with the Gartner, according to dark data, so dark data is nothing like that. This particular like data, normally we have to, we do not use in the data analysis or some business process, taking some help, taking some decisions. And the thing is that this dark data, and if you look at it, one of the largest company, IDC, they have stated like that 90% of the big data is a dark data, because we are not taking some decision, we are not taking some help, we are not doing some analysis of this particular dark data. So dark data is a challenge, or it's an issue in the particular to capturing the in the data, or in our available data. So dark data is a very crucial issue or crucial part in our data. So dark data, just like we can say, it's a type of unstructured data or untagged or untabbed data. We have to say like that. It's a dark data, and normally we do not use this dark data in our regular process. And whenever we have to keep it our big data, or in the big data, normally this type of data exists. And sometimes what happened that some of the major company, some business analyst or some data analysis, they try to ignore such type of big data, dark data in the available in the big data. So they do not use such type of dark data in our regular process. So this data, sometimes we have to avoid, sometimes we have to do not use such type of dark data. So it may be impact on our decision, it may be impact on our business process or business decision, it may be effect on the particular part. So we have to focus on this particular dark data, and this dark data we need to identify which type of data, what type of data we have available dark data in our system. So if you look at that in the dark data, we have a different part. We have to say like that, out of data, inaccurate information, we can say like that. Such type of comes in the dark data. Some higher storage or some overhead cost of types of data that comes in the dark data. Unused information or some unpotential data that we have to cover in the dark data, or some legal or some other type of regulatory issues type of data comes in the dark data. Some security risk related data that comes in the dark data, and some access permission challenges we have to face during the particular data in the system. So such type of data we have to cover in the dark data. So in the look at that in dimensions in the particular dark data, three major part we have to see. So data in your process, but not analyzed. Sometimes what happens that we have a lot of data, but this data not regularly we are using for the analysis purpose. Second, we have to use unstructured data that cannot be regularly mined, such type of data. We have a lot of unstructured data, but regularly we are not using such type of unstructured data in our business process. And third, we have to focus on the data in the deep web. Sometimes what happens that data from the government, data from the healthcare, data from the academics, data from the transportation, data from the research. So this particular data on the particular deep web, on the particular website or some web part, there are lot of large data. And this type of data, sometimes we are not focusing, we are not using in regular analysis. So if you take like dark data, one of the biggest company, Plunk company, they have to said about the particular dark, what exactly dark data. 60% organizations say more than half of the organization data is not captured. Or we can say like 60% of organizations, they are not focusing like a particular dark data. They try to ignore, they try to avoid such type of dark data in our business process. So your plan become maybe like to execute the particular part, but sometimes what happens that if you are not focusing on this particular dark data, so in future maybe suffer, or you can maybe impact your business in the particular scenario. So according to KPMG, 67 or maybe more than CEOs, they try to ignore, they are not focusing such type of data. It's a very crucial issue. It may be in the coming scenario, it may be a biggest issue in the particular enterprises. So not all data we have to created in the particular part. Sometimes we have to focus only the easy data, or sometimes we have to focus only the some related data or some useful data that we have to make it a decision. And sometimes we have to ignore such type of data that are maybe very crucial, very important data in our scenario, but it's the biggest issue, dark data. Decision intelligence, because this decision intelligence is more properly they are using with the help of particular different tools. And one of the lady scientists, she said that data intelligence is a very crucial, and in the during a scenario they have to use in the new technology way. Decision intelligence, just like we have to focus on the discipline, and we have to turning better data, some useful data to take it some better decisions or better actions in our business. So if you look at in the intelligence, the decision intelligence, they have some set of a procedure, some set of phases we have to connect for that. So connect and to capture the model, create the data model, and we have to prepare the data with the help of SQL, with the help of Python. Sometimes we have to use some different tools like that to prepare. Searching, NLQ, natural language query search, we have to use for the searching the such type of data. And automated insight, maybe trends, some maybe some segments we have to focus on that. And auto ML. Right now, this auto ML is more focusing on this particular machine learning process. And this auto ML is playing a very crucial role in the current scenario. So I tell you that what exactly auto ML or traditional ML. So in the traditional ML, we used define a problem. We have to collect the data, pre-process the data, then train the data and evaluate the data. This is a regular process we have to use in the traditional machine learning. But in the auto ML, you will see that all pre-process or training or testing type of data or evaluation of data, we have to skip like that. And this process we are doing with the help of tool or auto ML process. So everybody know about the particular Iraq war, USA or Iraq war. And Iraq or USA war, it was happened before 20 years, 21 years back. And USA, that USA attacked the particular on the Iraq due to the reason was the oil. So the people, today, they are not doing like that particular process. And thing is that most important is the data, because everybody want to keep it the data. And today in the scenario, if you look at that, data is the most important for every organization. And data is the new oil in the current scenario. If you say that in the current scenario, the particular part, data is a new oil. We forgot about the oil in the previously 20 years back. We have to focus on the oil and sometimes, but today, country, they are focusing on the data. If you capture the data, if you keep it the data, then you can do anything in the world. You can see in the USA, some major process tools, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, they are capturing the data, and they know everything about a particular person, what exactly data is available on the social media. So if you look at the data, if you understand about what exactly the data, we have to focus on the strategy, organizational impact, and data landscape. And before select any of data, you should know the drill. Drill in the sense of you have to focus on the particular, how to process this particular data in the different ways. You have to apply the process. So if you look at what exactly a big data, in the big data, you can see that we have to focus on the different V's. So it may be first FDP. Maybe some speaker maybe already tell about data, volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. And these are the major volumes, velocity, variety, veracity data we have to focus in the big data. So just keep some slides and I just show you one more popular video. Just because I don't have so much time for that. That's why. Yeah. So this video, because this in video, we are using robots, and Israel army, they are using this technology, and they are very crucial. I just show you this video. I will end my PPT. So in this video, it's a totally AI-based robot, or you can think about that because anything could be happen because this type of AI-based robot, if a terrorist they are using such type of robots, you can think about what can be happen in the future. It may be like Israel. They are using Israel this type of AI-based robot in army. So future is like we cannot say like that. It's everything would be safe or everything would be technology based, but technology always like a boon or bane. If you use in the right direction, it would be good. If you use in the wrong direction, it may be different results you can see right there. So this is from my side. I will share this PPT because from my side everything is visible clearly. So I will share the PPT if anybody if you want to like that. So if you have any questions, we can take it.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, I think you're facing some problem, isn't it?
I closed my presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Oh, since you have one.
Yeah.
So I would like to request
Because participants are facing some problem. They are saying
yeah.
PPT are not visible. So I don't know which part is visible, which part is not visible. So
Yes,
it may be difficult to learn the participant.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, but because similar PPT I have given that just before 2 weeks in China.
Okay.
Similar PPT I was given that. I don't know because everything it was okay in that part, but I don't know.
Okay, so
Anyway,
problem might be there from my side.
it may be happen from my side also because frequently here internet is not properly.
So I would like to request participants
If you have any questions, you can.
any queries regarding the subject matter, you can put your queries in the text box and sir will certainly answer you.
Or people, you can unmute some people if they want to ask directly questions.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I think participants are not
Can wait
showing any kind of interest. Okay.
one or 2 minutes if they are.
Okay. Every participant is facing the same problem, sir.
Yeah, that's why because
Everyone
that's why
most of the
because
participating
similar PPT I have given that in China.
Okay.
just before 2 weeks.
Oh,
So I don't know what. That is also a part of technology.
yes, sir. I think I should wind up.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
thank you very much, sir. So you explained the things very well, although the screen was not visible, but even though you tried your level best to explain the things. So I think you have told many things. You started with the Steve Jobs, and you started how the mobile phone is being anticipated way back in 1963. You told about the Jack Ma. You displayed the very beautiful video of Jack Ma. You told about the different types of digital technology, India's first digital university in Kerala, and you also introduced AI tools. I think 120 AI tools are available and more than that. You told about the dark data. You told about the decision intelligence technology. Some of the terms, I think they are very new to the to the participant or even to me, you told about what's the basic difference between the traditional ML and auto ML. You told about how the robots are fighting a war with the Israel. So I think, sir, your talk was really very informative and will certainly help our budding scholars to explore in this field. So thank you very much, sir. We will get you in touch with
Yeah.
you once again.
You can share my contact detail to participant. If anybody want to
Okay,
contact
I
to
will
me.
write the email
Yeah.
ID in the
Yeah.
chat box.
Yes.
Anybody
Yes.
having any problem, he or she will connect with you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes,
you very
yes.
much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, can you say one participant is asking, can you share the
Yes.
PDF
Chat.
of PPT something because it's not clear.
Please share a PDF of PPT on WhatsApp. Yeah, sure. We'll
Okay.
share a PPT. We'll show.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, dear participant, the next session will start sharply at 1:30. So we will see you at 1:30. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Aditya. Dr. Aditya, his full name is Dr. Aditya Bhardwaj. He has completed his BTech in CSE from Gautam Buddha Technical University, Lucknow, and ME and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from Central Government Institute, NITTR, Chandigarh. He has published numerous papers, 20 peer-reviewed research papers published in SCI and Scopus Index Journal. He is also an IEEE member and also serves as a technical writer of open source for U magazine. He has been a conference session chair and a member of industry academic collaboration committee for several program activities and has been invited to deliver several keynote lectures at the several AICT faculty development program. He has more than 4 years of teaching experience in reputed institutes such as PEC, Chandigarh, KIT Group of Institution, Ghaziabad, and currently working with as an assistant professor in Bennett University Times Group, Greater Noida. And he has a research specialization includes cloud computing, visualization, and the big data analytics. So with these words, I would like to invite Dr. Bhardwaj to deliver his talk. So please.
Yes, thank you, sir. And big thanks from my side to all coordinating team from MIT University, Patna. And welcome to all the participants for this day 2. And today, now in this session, we will be having techniques and platform for big data analytics. And I request all the participants to have two-way communication because it's a learning. So learning should be continuous. And during this session, we will have hands-on also. So not only from just from technology perspective, we will have discussion on what are the research challenges that you can carry on for your basically research, maybe to guide your PhD scholar, maybe to guide your MTech scholars also. And apart from that, I will also have a glimpse of if you are willing to take this course, Big Data Analytics, during your curriculum. So how you can set up the lab and which is the easy and flexible way to set up Big Data Analytics lab for your respective university. So these are the outline of this talk. In the starting, we will have just a glimpse, just only introduction of big data shortly, because I assume that this introduction, it might be covered in your morning session. After that, we will jump for big data analytics. Then we will go for a fruitful discussion on what are the tools for big data analytics which are used in industries these days. Then followed by we will go for Hadoop case study, as we will have one hands-on case study on big data platform that I have developed on my system. Finally, we will go for challenges and opportunities in terms of research perspective. So that will be our outline for this thing. And during the session, if you face any issue, if you face any doubt, we can have two-way communication. And after the one session is wind up, you are always welcome. I am always happy to take your queries later on also for collaboration and for multiple things. So why there is sudden hype around big data analytics? Because these days industries, they are shifting towards big data analytics everywhere. So why there is certain hype these days? Because if we see the data growth over the year from 2010, and if we give a prediction, maybe till 2030, 40, and so on. So given the recent development, there has been a major shift that how data is analyzed. Because now if you see like data that is generated through the industries, now it is shifting towards unstructured kind of data. And there are many like sources, like whether you can take about like your social networking site, you can take about your like YouTube, WhatsApp, you can take about your industries, real-time sensors through IoT, maybe connected autonomous vehicle, and many more. So data that is generating these days, now it is shifting towards category. That is a real-time data that we cannot store using conventional database. So that's why industries they are shifting towards analytics of those data. And structure and structuring, nothing but structure is basically like data that can be easily stored, that can be easily manipulating with the help of RDBMS structure. That means that can be easily stored with the help of table format, like it is student data, it is structure, because it can be easily managed in tabular format with the help of RDBMS database technology. But what happens when we are talking about real-time scenario? So for the real-time scenario, now data that is generating, it is in unstructured format. So this does not have any defined structure. That's why it is unstructured. So we need other set of technology for storing and for manipulating those data sets. Now, if you see what happened on the internet across the globe in just a single minute, so you will be surprising that how much amount of data is generating in just a single minute over the internet. Like for on Twitter, 575,000 of user, they basically tweets over the Twitter in just a 60 seconds only. That is 1 minute only. Similarly on Netflix, 552,000 hours videos they are streamed over the internet. So this the ultimate idea of putting this picture is just to give a interesting fact and figure that how much data is generating in the real-time scenario over the different social networking platform and other platforms. So we can see a lot of data is generating these days over the period of time. So now what industry will do? Industry will do basically from this data. So data on its own is useless unless you don't make sense of it. So if we have data, it is just a dump data only. So in order to extract meaningful information from those data, we need to implement set of tools and technology. That's why industry they are opting for. So in order to get meaningful information, industry they are utilizing the big data analytic tools that we will see for getting the sense from the data. And if I relate this statement with real-time scenario, like for Netflix, for the Netflix, if you are looking for some maybe some series or maybe some other maybe entertainment article. So next time you will be getting same kind of prediction of the same homogeneous category article on the Netflix. Similarly on the Amazon, if you are doing shopping over the Amazon, so what they are doing, they are storing your click stream data. After that, they are analyzing those data set in order to give some kind of prediction to the user that what is the customer behavior for purchasing that is done by in real-time scenario by your Amazon also, even in banking sector also, even in industries. So basically they are analyzing the data set which is generating in the real-time scenario to grasp the meaningful information and to get the market, to capture the market and to give prediction to the customer so that they can improve their market profit. That's why big data it is gaining popularity these days. Now now there is a lot of dilemma that what is big data. because we are having data set in KB also, in MB also, in gigabyte also, but how we can say that it can be defined as a big data? Now just only, let's say if I say I am having a just a static data in my system, maybe 1 GB, so will it be big data? No. So how we can categorize that particular kind of data will be big data? Now, in order to say these things, so data which is in high volume, and here high volume indicates data that is generating in at least gigabyte, terabyte unit, at least. And it is in high velocity. Velocity is basically data is generating from the real time surrounding information. Like if you see data which is generating from YouTube live stream, that is also big data category. Data which is generating in the real time scenario from connected autonomous vehicles, CAV, that is also big data category. So data that is generating in real time, high velocity and high variety. So variety means data, it is in unstructured, it is in semi-structure, it is in structure also. Like if you see on social networking sites, sometimes we are generating data in the format of text. Other things, sometimes we are generating data in the format of video, maybe audio, maybe images also. So that is high variety. So data, it is in high variety, unstructured, structure, even semi-structure also. And we will be saying that that those variety of data which is in high volume, maybe gigabyte, high velocity, high variety, then it will be termed as big data as per the Gartner report. This is very interesting slides, and it's all about big data everywhere, not only for generating of data, but some applications they are processing data also, like your smartwatch. Over your smartwatch, continuously it is sensing the healthcare parameter of particular human body. So over the smartwatch also, lot of data is generating in the real time scenario. Like connected autonomous vehicle, which is gaining popularity these days. So over CAV, connected autonomous vehicle also, when different vehicles, they are connecting with each other, and when they are communicating with each other, so this CAV, because now industry they are shifting towards connected autonomous vehicle, which are embedded with number of internal sensors. So when these vehicles, they are communicating with each other. So during their communication, and when they are sensing the surrounding information, that what is the nearby, you can say nearby object, what is the nearby vehicle, what is the nearby pedestrian. So when they are surrounding the nearby information, so in that scenario also, through the sensor, data is generated. Now these fields are gaining popularity. So like if you give a single direction to CAV for big data analytics, this will open another research direction for PhD, for scholar, for all scholars. Like over the data center also, over robotics, because they are also integrated with sensors. So lots of data is generating these days. So if you see everywhere now, if you see every application, most of the application and devices in real-time devices, sensors, IoT, basically even your cloud, even at your edge. So everywhere data is generating. And if you make some sense of those data, then it play a major role for the industries as well as for scholars, for researchers. So big data analytics is basically analyzing your set of big data which we are getting from real-time sensors, real-time surrounding, maybe through different sources, maybe through social networking, maybe through industry, maybe IoT, maybe CAV. So if you are applying basically analytic approach to get meaningful information, so that organization can take the fruitful business decision, then that will be basically big data analytics. And you can see the broad picture also. In knowledge discovery, we are having data analytics. Now in the data analytics, we are having big data analytics. And big data analytics specifically focus on your unstructured as well as semi-structured category data. And in traditional way, like if we talk about structured data, like your organization employees data. So they used to use business intelligence tools and technology for analysis of data. But with the when we are going for now real-time streaming data, so those traditional tools like your RDBMS, they will be failed to store, and traditional tool of business intelligence for analytics, they will be failed for analysis also. That's why now big data tools, technology, they are gaining popularity into the industries. So a lot of direction is open for placement, for intensive, and number of things. So why is big data analytics important? Because it helps organization it helps basically organization to harness the data and use it to identify new opportunity. And not only industries, even your academic organization also. So it leads to smarter business moves, more efficient operation, higher profit and happier customers. So that customer feedback can be improved. And industries, we can give more prediction to the customer. So all this is the idea of industry, so that they can get better decision making on time by analyzing their data. That's why we see if you click for even a single stream searching, maybe on any platform, Amazon. So after some time, you are getting the prediction for those kind of product. If you are searching for laptop, so you are getting a similar kind of system prediction from your Amazon, from your other platform also. So internally, what they are doing, they are analyzing the customer's click stream data through the big data analytic tool internally, and then they are using some prediction technique of machine learning, and then they are giving the some kind of decision making prediction to the user that you can purchase this thing, you can go for these things, and so on. So this entire slide, this entire picture, it will give 360 direction clarity of what is happening in industries and surrounding us. If you see sources, like if you see this layer 1 sources, in these days, sources of data is through your IoT, Internet of Things environment, sensors, even your cell phone, even your website. So basically, if you see your social networking side, IoT, sensors, applications which are using sensors like your connected autonomous vehicle, your networking side, even your social networking side, your basically live streaming data. So even your flight data. So everywhere now, data is generating in a large amount. Now, first thing, for storage of these data, which are generating large amount, which are generating different variety also, like WhatsApp. Data will be in image, data will be in WhatsApp video, it will be in text, it will be in other format. So that is a unstructured format. Now, in order to store those data, starting, we need basically a robust storage mechanism in big data platform. So robust storage mechanism is basically your MongoDB, your Cassandra. MongoDB is open source, Cassandra, and NoSQL is MongoDB. You can use SDFS platform, Hadoop distributed platform of Hadoop technology also for storage of your data. Industry, they are using. And if you are willing for your cloud platform, so you can also use S3 bucket service of Amazon AWS cloud for storage point of view. So this is storage, that real-time data, real-time streaming data will be stored in either of these robust storage mechanism. We can see we don't have here RDBMS because RDBMS will be failed. Now, once storage is done, you need to process your data. So for the processing, if you are using Hadoop tool for storage, SDFS for storage, you will be using MapReduce. MapReduce is itself having its benefit as well as some challenges also. So another way is you can use Apache Pig. Another way is you can use Spark also. Spark basically it is having lots of library. And once this is processing is done, now you can go for visualization. Visualization maybe through Tableau, maybe through your Power BI, which is a Microsoft software, and number of visualization. So there are majorly it is a 4-layer framework. Sources of data. Now those live streaming data will be stored through the storage mechanism, and now it will be processed. Now whatever the kind of dashboard the industry they want to provide, they will be using this visualization. In real-time scenarios, for storage industry, they are opting MongoDB also, they are opting SDFS, and for processing, they are opting MapReduce. It totally depends upon case study to case study. What is the target set objective of industries? Practically 60 to 70% market is captured by Spark also for processing. And apart from Spark, they are having Kafka also. Kafka also for lot of other features. This is the float in industries that is going on, and how they are adapting these tools and technology for big data. So in this session, as a case study, we will be going for one hands-on case study of Hadoop. And I will give just once conceptual discussion of Hadoop is done, then I will have a little bit a short and brief concise discussion of why we are having Apache Peak, why we are having Apache Hive, and I will give direction of Spark also. Then we will jump to the demonstration part. So let me just introduce first tool of big data analytics, which is widely used in industries, Hadoop. Now you can see interesting icon of this Hadoop, which is a kind of yellow elephant icon. And Hadoop, it is a open source framework to store, process, and analyze enormous quantity of data. So basically, Hadoop, it is a open source software which is used for storage of big data as well as for processing of big data. And if we relate this thing, storage is done through Hadoop distributed file system. Processing is done through MapReduce. So if you get some just a glimpse and little bit direction through this, so Hadoop may be having two components. First one for storage, second one for processing. So Hadoop it provides improved programming model which is used to create and run distributed system quickly and efficiently. So Hadoop basically works on distributed environment. That means in industries, like if you relate these things, so when their industry, they are getting real-time data from different sources. Now those data will be stored through Hadoop distributed file system in a distributed environment over the cluster that they have already deployed for the big data environment. So it is licensed under Apache. That's why it is also called Apache Hadoop, because if you are searching for Hadoop, you will find the Apache keyword. So it is licensed by Apache, that's why it is Apache. Now in real time, many industries, maybe Google, maybe Yahoo, maybe Amazon, maybe your Cloudera, eBay. So at the back end, they are using Hadoop at the back end for analytics of user data. Just a interesting little bit history of Hadoop. In basically in 2005, what happened? There was an employee at Yahoo who was inventor of this Hadoop platform. So this dog, he was working in Yahoo, and they were working on a web search engine project. So the purpose was to analyze data over the click stream data over their web server. Then they invented with a interesting tool which is a Apache Hadoop. So this Apache Hadoop, it is the invention done by Dow in 2005, who was working in Yahoo. So there are basically two main component of Hadoop. First one is for storage layer, which is Hadoop distributed file system, and it is popularly known as SDFS. Then we are having for processing, we are having MapReduce. So storage ke liye you need to set up your cluster environment. Once this is done, now processing will be done through the MapReduce programming environment of the Hadoop. So it is having two major components, storage as well as processing. Now, if you see functional architecture of Hadoop, so Hadoop follows master-slave architecture. What it means? Like, for example, if you want to set up Hadoop cluster environment for your research, for your academic point of view, maybe in your industry, maybe in your university. So you need to set up one master server. You need to set up slave server. So let's say if you are having one master server and 3 slave server. So over this master server, let's say live streaming data you are fetching from the sensors. Now this master server will be used to trigger command to all slave node that how data will be stored through the HDFS configuration, which is already done by the developer at slave node. And now processing instruction also will be done through master node. So this Hadoop follows master slave architecture when you are going to implement it practical scenario. This is the architecture that you need to, let's say you want to set up a Hadoop environment with 4 systems. So one system you will be saying, let's say it is your name node or master node. RAS system, let's say we are having suppose 5 system here. First one is master node. Rest like 5 system, 5 server, they are acting as a slave node. So you will be, so the purpose of master node is, it is used to send the instruction command for execution, for storage, as well as for processing over different slave node. So when your real-time data is coming through the different application, maybe through sensors, first it will be instruction of storing those data will be flowed to the master server. Now this master server will divide your data into different chunks, different blocks, and it will store into the different slave node. So one thing is there that at every slave node, your Hadoop distributed file system will be implemented practically. And now processing will also done parallelly. That's why Hadoop environment, it is faster because storage is done in a distributed environment. Processing through the MapReduce will also done parallelly. And once result is collected, the result is done, basically processing is finally done through the respective framework, like your MapReduce, like your Spark. After that, result will be triggered back to the name node. This is the internal working architecture of your Hadoop, that how it works. And if you are going to develop it, this Hadoop cluster environment yourself, so you have to be worry about, you have to take this challenge for configuration of master node, for configuration of slave node. And if you are willing to take just a backup also of master node, so practically you can set up a server which will be known as secondary name. The secondary name node is just a backup node only. It is just used to resolve the issue of fault tolerance of your master node, because if master node is failed, then who will take care of your backup node, or second server will take care of this thing. So this is the internal architecture of Hadoop that you have to set up if you are going for real-time practical demonstration for research, for industries. So the core component Hadoop includes your HDFS as well as your MapReduce. So any queries up till now, just from conceptual architecture point of view?
No, sir.
Okay. So like if you see, heartbeat is nothing but basically these are the acknowledgement signals sent by your slave node to the master node. That every slave node, when they are connecting to their master node, they are sending a acknowledgement signal that we are live into the system. We are live into the cluster. So that is your heartbeat mechanism, which is written here. And you can implement a load balancing technique, and for replication also, that how data will be replicating. All these things you can configure yourself. But by default, whenever you are installing Hadoop through the Apache source code, they are having these kind of setting internally. But if you want to configure yourself, it's as per your objective requirement of your respective research. Now, let us have just conceptual discussion of your MapReduce. So MapReduce, it is a processing framework in Hadoop, and that is basically used to store your massive amount of data in parallel way, like we have seen. This MapReduce, it is a processing framework. And like if you see, this is itself comprising two functions. First one is map, second one is reduce. Entire MapReduce processing framework, it comprises of two functions, map function as well as reduce function. If you are working in industries, so you need to take care of how you will be writing map function, how you will be writing reduce function for your given product. And for writing this map reduce function, so you can write in Java programming language, you can write in Python also. Python is in common practice for writing map reduce function. In demonstration also, we will see a case study of where we will see map reduce function written in Python code. And if you are working for your research, so you need to configure basically your map function, your reduce function as per your requirement. Like for example, just if I give a direction over here, like if you are working on big data analysis, basically proposing a efficient algorithm for your real-time application, maybe your like edge, maybe your like fog, maybe like your connected autonomous vehicle, or many more. So once you got the real-time data, now you need to write map function, reduce function as per which are satisfying your parameter domain of your objective that you have defined for your research. So here this is the task that is done by researcher as well as by developer also. So working of MapReduce, in MapReduce, your input data set, it is split into independent chunks of unit. Like here we can see, that so here map task, it process independent chunk completely parallelly and convert into another set of data where individual elements are broken down into tuples of key value pair. So what is happening basically, when your real-time data, it is captured by the master node. Let us take Netflix example. Over the Netflix, number of users they are working in the live scenario. Let's say Netflix is having their data center, and it is basically configured with Hadoop cluster. Let's say, so when they are getting the real-time streaming data of user, so that will be first, it will go to the master node. Now in the master node, basically it will give instruction for the storage. So once data is storage through the SDFS mechanism. Now processing component, which is MapReduce component, will come into picture that we are discussing here. So in the MapReduce, first function, which is map, it will basically create a key value pair for your data set. That this is the key, this is value, this is key, this is value. This pattern is following MongoDB database also. Once key value pair is done, after that your reduce task, it will basically aggregate the respective intermediate key based upon the homogeneous category of key. That the same category of keys, they will be clubbed in one group. Another variety of keys, they will be clubbed in second group, and so on. So mapping task or generation of key value pair over the data set, which is stored over SDFS, it is done by map function. And aggregation task, or you can say collection task, collection of homogeneous pattern of key value, it is done by reduce function. So we will have interesting use case like Hadoop use case using word count problem in order to understand this working of MapReduce. So this word count, it is a very popular and a standard problem in big data analytics. And based upon this word count problem, there are multiple applications that are used in industries. I will give a little bit discussion of those things also. Let's now understand what is the word count, which is a standard problem in Hadoop. So word count, it is a count. It is a basically where you are counting occurrence of similar word across the given data set. So that is your word count problem. if you understand this word count problem in terms of your like big data Hadoop MapReduce working architecture. So let's say initially you are having this as a input data set. Just for example, we are taking this small set, the input data set. Practically, it will be live streaming data set which are fetched by the server. Now this input data set, now this will be going to the master node. Now master node will basically split this input data set into different server or different slave. Let's say this is your splitting operation region, and this is storing your server 1 or slave 1's client server 2, or you can say slave 2, and so on. Now mapping will be done. Mapping is basically like this is a MapReduce processing framework. Now you can see in the mapping function written in such a way, it is creating a key value pair for your given word. Like this key, this word, what is the frequency count? It is occurring in this block. Local storage in SDFS, it is 1. For similarly, this one is 1, or for river also it is 1. Like here, car, this key, it is 1 time, second key 1 time, and river 1 time, and so on. So mapping process is done. Now shuffling is doing sorting operation. Now in the shuffling, sorting will be done basically based upon some set of criteria. Like here it has done through the alphabetic way. Now in the reducing, frequency count will be club with respect to the keyword. And finally you are getting this result. So now you can see it is a final output which is giving the word frequency of count of respective word in your given data set. Now a participant may think this simple word count problem you can do in Python also, but how this word count problem it is related to the big data? Practically what happens, this is just a standard case study scenario of how you can analyze through MapReduce. But practically what happens, let's say if you take the example of your web server. Suppose your network admin in your industry, maybe in your university also, they are basically analyzing the, you can say, security loopholes of their web server. So in the input, they will be getting different kind of data set, like what is the client IP address, what is the URL he is visiting to, what is the MAC address, what is the destination address, and so on. Like your client IP address, source IP address, destination IP address, timestamp, and so on. So these kind of real-time information will be captured through your web server. Now they will be split, they will be mapped, they will be shuffled. So finally, what you will be getting here as a network admin, you will be getting the result in this format, that there is a user who is floating, let's say 172.0.2, who is floating 100 time request to this IP address. That means there may, if this IP address, if it is not in security domain, security domain of their, maybe their firewall. That means this user is trying to create some malicious activity over the web server. So through the reduce phase, you are getting what count, that these are the IP address and the frequency of count of searching for those or looking requests for those IP address. So this is one example. This is known as you can say web server. You can say analytics through the big data environment. So these things are also done in the industries when their network admin, they are willing to analyze the IP address pattern of user, that what they are looking for through the word count scenario. So word count, it gives just a scenario only. Whereas based upon this template, based upon this scenario, number of real-time applications are there. Like another case study, if you see, like in your Amazon, if you are searching for some product, so your information will be stored in their website, in their data center, and what are the basically your choices of data set, those will be searched through the final result. And in the final result, what will be mapping, that these are the product that you are looking for 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So what is your preference of doing shopping or what is the preference of customer. So that can be easily identified through this scenario. So I hope this what is the importance of word count in your big data, why it is discussed in standard textbooks. Now I think this should be clear to participants. Now as a demonstration, so let us just discussion of mapper and reducer function, then we will go for demonstration of this word count problem in the real-time scenario. Now you can see this is the mapper function, and in mapper function, if we relate what we were doing basically in the mapper function, like we relate here, we were doing splitting of your data set. We were creating a key value generation page. This was mapper. So first thing, let's say if you have written your mapper function in the Python code with some name, so like you will import some sort of library, like let's say system library. After that, what you are doing, you are basically reading your input data set from SDFS line by line. Now, you are reading line by line, and now you are splitting the line into words. And once these lines are split into different keyword, once they are split into different line by line, you have split your data set. Now you are splitting these into words. Now once it is splitting, now you will run a for loop. Like here we have run a for loop, which will basically generate a key value pair. So in this program, the keyword is key is what is key here? Key is basically nothing but basically word. This is your key. This is value. Now it will create a key, mapping function, or you can say key value generation, that what is the frequency of count of individual key in the database, in your source big data or database. That will be done into the mapping function. Now this mapping function output will be forwarded to the reducer function, and the purpose of reducer function will be to club your, or you can say to perform the reduce. In the reduce, basically what they are doing, they are creating a count of frequency. They are basically aggregating the final result in as a reducer function, just by incrementing count value by 1. So this is the simple you can say mapper reducer function format that you have to write if you are going for a map reduce programming. If you are going for a map reduce working for the word count problem. Now I will give you a practical demonstration for the same thing. Okay. So now let us have practical demonstration. Now before going for the demonstration, let me give one more discussion point over here in the tools. Now the first challenge for setup of your Hadoop environment, what are the different ways that let's say if you are working as a researcher, so how you can develop your Hadoop environment. So if you are working as a researcher, so you should preference is you should go for real-time testbed environment. You can get maybe 3-4 system. One system will be acting as master node, and configuration system should also be good one. Maybe let's say 32 GB RAM or 64 GB RAM, and rest 3 server you can configure as a slave node. Now you can create your Hadoop cluster. That means you need to install Hadoop environment over master as well as slave. So documentation is there over the Apache side. Second thing is, if you don't want to go for testbed environment, then you can go for inbuilt services of your cloud environment. Like over the Amazon also, they are having EMR service, Elastic MapReduce. Now for the respective professional academician like faculties and professor, if they are willing to set up the lab, so as per my experience, the best platform is Cloudera virtual machine. Because if we set up over our single system, because our single system, it will become difficult to set up your cloud environment, your big data cluster environment. So you need multiple systems. It becomes difficult to demonstrate the lab. So the best way that is done is through the cloud era virtual machine. In the cloud era virtual machine, everything it is already deployed by the cloud era industry. Okay, by the cloud era your company. So you will find deployment of Hadoop, you will find deployment of Pig, Hive, even Spark also within single environment of cloud era only. And if you want to go for other add-on, even Pig also. If you want to go for other add-on like Kafka, other things, so you need to import a lot of libraries in Cloud Era virtual machine. But for setup of a curriculum lab, Cloud Era is more than sufficient. So we will be having working demonstration of work-on problem over the Cloud Era virtual machine only. Now I hope this is visible, everyone. This virtual machine, virtual box. Okay, let me reshare my complete screen.
It's visual. No problem.
Okay, now it's visible.
Yeah.
Are you? Yes. Now you can see in my system, I have installed Cloudera Quick Start virtual machine over the virtual box, and I have created a complete manual also, which I can share to coordinator like FDP coordinator for the benefit of participant. Now, if I open these things, now guys, now you can see over this Cloudera, like if you go for Cloudera home, you will find number of things also. Like if you go here, like machines, like let's say, like if I reflect you. Now, let me just give a little bit discussion of this virtual this Cloudera platform, then we will directly jump to the demonstration. So now you can see easily, you can see over the Cloudera itself, they are providing number of options. Like you can see Hadoop, HBase, Impala, Spark, and Pig and Hive also you can basically call through the Cloudera virtual machine environment only. Okay, so they are having inbuilt platform, Hadoop platform, HBase, Impala, Spark, and OG, and many other platforms. So if you want to work for let's say if you want to work for Hadoop, so what you will do, you will open your terminal through this black screen, and now you will be logging through root. Okay, root login is done. Now it's up to you. Let's say if you are going for Pig environment, type Pig, press enter. If you are going for Hive environment, type Hive, press enter. So these are the like if you want to go for Spark environment, type Spark, press enter. So now let us work for our word-count problem. For the installation also, like I have created this demo file. So like how you will be installing through VirtualBox this Cloudera virtual machine. Now this complete entire manual, it demonstrates each and every steps with a simple way. Now let me discuss the main thing that how you will be initiating working over Cloudera virtual machine for the Hadoop platform. In the starting, you will open your terminal like we have done. You will open your terminal and you will log in through the as a root user. Root user is nothing but like admin user in your Windows system. Now you will write your word count mapper function. You will write your reducer function that we have discussed. And if you want to open your word count function, you can open through gedit editor, and through the chmod +x, you can give the executable permission to your function. Now, if I relate up till here, so guys, you can see in my system already I have written basically like word count mapper function in the system for demonstration. So same function is here that I have demonstrated in the slide also. That it is reading your database line by line, and through the split function it is splitting your database. Now it is creating the It is generating the key value function, key value pair for your database. So that is your mapper. Mapper means mapping of your database in the key value format. That is your map. Okay. And if you want to come out from this file, so press Ctrl C. Now again, if I want to see another function, let's say word counts, your reducer. So same function is here, like for reducer, it is getting the input from your mapper, and now it is basically reading your output of your mapper phase, so that for the club operation, for the aggregation purpose. That is your reducer. And if you want to close this file, come back to your terminal, press Ctrl C. It is closed. So if we relate this thing, up till now we have done like we have created your mapper function, reducer function. Now you can give the executable permission to your mapper and reducer file for execution. And so executable के लिए chmod +x. X is indicating executable permission, and then your file name. Okay, cgc mapper.py. This is done. Similarly, like how I got it through the arrow operation, chmod +x. Now I am giving executable permission to your reducer file. This is also done. So two basic steps we have done: writing of your mapper function, writing of your reducer function. Second step is giving the executable permission to your mapper reducer function. Now third step is you need to create some input data set. In the industries, what will be happening is the input data set will be fetching from the live stream data, like from in Netflix server. This will be automatically live streaming data of user. WhatsApp Pay, it will be live streaming data of user. Similarly on YouTube. IoT environment way, this will be live streaming data fetched through the sensor. Similarly in connected autonomous vehicle. So this is the input data set phase. But for demonstration, if you want to create a dummy input data set, initially you will be creating a, let's say, directory, input directory. Okay. So Hadoop me for creating any directory folder, the command is Hadoop distributive files minus make directory, and directory you are creating in this user cloud area info. This is step already I have done in my system for demonstration. So if I write here this command, so if I replicate this command, it will showcase that input folder is already existing. Okay, so there is no sense of now creating this thing. Now you will be creating a dummy test file. Let's say test file 1, 2, and now you will be copying this dummy test file into the input folder. In our case, like you can see, there are number of test files. So I have created this dummy, let's say test file 5.txt. Okay, and now this in real time scenario, this data set will be in the GB format. But just for demonstration, I have created in some small format, because if I create itself in let's say 1 GB, 2 GB, so system may go into the hanging state. So for the demonstration, you can have this dummy data set either in KB or MB format only. So this is the test file that we have seen. Just some dummy information I have written here. Let's say welcome to Big Data Hadoop MapReduce demonstration for Apache Big Data Hadoop. Just a dummy input data set. Okay. Now, and now you need to copy this data set, which is test file 5, into the user cloud era input. Let us do this thing. So let us replicate this step, like you can see. So our test file, our input data set is test file 5. Okay, if I press 5, test file 5, and enter. So this command is put means copy. So SDFS, DFS minus put means copy the data from the source location home Cloudera test file to destination location user Cloudera input. So test file 5 will be copied to input folder into the user Cloudera. The processing of copying operation and processing of performing computation, it will depends upon your laptop configuration also. If your system is 8 GB, so it will take little bit time compared to 16 GB. 16 GB, if your system is 16 GB, it will be processed fastly. Now you can see it is reflecting error file like this, because for the demonstration already I have done this thing. Okay, already I have tested. Now the interesting is we have done majorly 3 steps: creation of input data, creation of input like data, creation of input folder, and copying of your data set to the input folder. Now you need to run Hadoop word count column with respect to this set of command. Initially, you are calling basically your jar command for the Hadoop environment. So let us like if you want to, you can clear this screen. Okay, so Hadoop jar, basically you're calling the set of jar file of your inbuilt Apache Hadoop cluster environment, which has created into the Cloudera virtual machine. If I press enter, it is jumping to the next. It is jumping to the next immediate terminal. Now you will give the path of your input folder. Okay, minus input, my input. This line of statement means input can be find out from user Cloudera input folder and forward slash. Forward slash means root directory. Okay, basically after this there are other set of command also. Now what input we have given, now what output you want? So minus output user Cloudera output. So user Cloudera directory में path में you have created a output folder. And here interesting thing is this output folder should be unique. Otherwise it will give you error. No, so today is 25th of July. So let me write output 25th. Okay. Otherwise it will give error because output folder should be unique. It should not be already existing. Or second way is you can delete your existing output folder, then you can run your command. So like you can see home Cloudera main, like this is my word count. Okay, press tab, then your mapper function and enter. Similarly, reducer, it is in home. I'm pressing through my tab button. After that word count and reducer function, press enter. So after entering this thing, so what is happening basically, your Hadoop cluster will be running internally, which is configuring Cloudera virtual machine with this input data set, input folder file may file 5 test file 5 is there, and it will create dynamically a output folder name output 25. It will execute mapper function, it will execute reducer function. So let us understand this intermediate phase of like working of this command also. Starting mate is connecting to the resource manager of your Cloudera virtual machine. For the same steps will be there. If you are doing this thing in real-time testbed environment, same step will be there. And if you want to track the status of your application, you can track this through location. Okay, now you will see the interesting fact. Starting May running is job is there. Starting May mapper function will be running. Because mapper function is, reducer function is coming, reducer function is taking as the output of mapper. So first mapper will be completing, then reducer. So here you will see first mapper will be completing, then reducer. So let us wait for In the meantime, any question, any participant? So if you are doing for research also, same steps, set of steps you have to follow for working, for executing your mapper function, reducer function. Like you can notice, mapper is initially 0%, reducer is 0%. Now mapper will be 20%, reducer will be 0. Mapper will be 100, then reducer will be 0. So first mapper will be completed, followed by reducer function. Because reducer take the output from mapper. It is taking little bit time due to system configuration. My system, lot of software installed. So in like practice, you should have good configuration system, and with free sort of RAM as well as your CPU resources also. So then it will be running very fast. It will not take too much time. So we can wait for just another couple of seconds to see the interesting output. We will come back to this thing, don't worry. So if you see just a steps for how you will be installing, configuring Cloudera virtual machines. Initially, you need to install your virtual box. You need to download the Cloudera virtual machine dump file, and this is almost 4 GB. So the size of this dump file is 4 GB. After that, you will be opening your virtual machine and import the over file of your Cloudera virtual machine that you have downloaded. Okay, now this is imported from maybe from your download folder. Now you will be just following the set of steps. This is interesting. How much RAM you want to configure to your Cloudera virtual machine cluster environment, Hadoop cluster environment, which you are doing on your system. Another interesting point is guest operating system is Red Hat. Basically, Cloudera virtual machine, they are using Red Hat Linux system for creation of for deployment of their Hadoop environment. Okay, when you click on import, so it will take few minutes, then your system will be ready with the Cloudera virtual machine. Then you will be getting this interface, same thing that we are checking here also in our system. So it is still 0%, reduced 0%. Let us wait. Now you can see mapper is 11%, reducer 0%, 17, 0. That means easily we can observe that mapper will be completing first 100%. Now reducer will come. Now reducer is executing at the back end. Reducer is executing. And if you want to track the status of your execution, you can track with this URL also. So you can open tab. Okay, or better is you can open through here also, like this URL. Okay, if you want to track what is the status of your execution, so like okay, so you can check through the graphical interface also rather than terminal. So it can provide interesting, easy user friendly way that how user can check the status of their execution. Now you can see like reducer is also executing. Let me copy this thing again and copy paste in some URL. Okay, press enter. So now it is opening, and you can easily monitor the intermediate steps of your mapper and reducer function which are executing at the back end of your system. Okay, now you can see like mapper was done completely. Now reducer has done till 100%. And if you are getting this message that your job is executed successfully, that means successfully your mapper reducer code, they have been executed over the Hadoop cluster. Otherwise, you will get here error. So commonly, the set of error that you will face, so those set of error, like I have written here, so frequently use troubleshooting command for whenever you are facing the error. So you can use those set of command because there will be some syntax error only or some sort of simple error. So those error you can easily troubleshoot later on when you are doing practice through this set of command. Now in order to see the output, okay, now in order to see the output, you need to run this command, because up till now what we have done, and if you want to understand the intermediate steps, so same thing like your like total time spent in your mapper phase, reducer phase, and how much time has been taken. So you can take this parameter for your starting objective, that whenever you return your mapper function, so what is the total time spent by your map function? One parameter, reduce function, another parameter. Okay. And what is the like virtual memory space? What is the CPU time consumed by your respective function? So you have to optimize your mapper reducer function in such a way it is taking less CPU time, it is taking less memory consumption, and it is taking less execution time. So that can be like contribution from your side also as a scholar. Now, if you want to get the output, same command sdfl dfs minus get, it is used for printing output user Cloudera May. And what was our output folder name? It was 25. Okay, and press enter. So it should print. Now, if you see like documentation, it should basically, it should check the output file. It should basically get your output. Okay, let us wait for another few seconds only. Same thing, same steps they are followed for testbed environment. Same steps they will be followed at your Amazon cloud environment also. Now you can easily see it is printing the output like with the set of. So this is the reduce output. Now you can see this keyword was occurring 4 times, this was occurring 3 times, and so. So this is the output phase. Now this is a word count. Now this output is giving the frequency of count of word, how much time they have occurred into your input data set. And if we go for, let's say, web server analysis, so here respective IP address 172.2.4.5 and how many times user has triggered the request, those n number of times, and so. Now through this analysis, like your admin can create a graph, they can easily identify that what are the IP addresses which are hit by client multiple times in order to check the security loophole of their web server. So there are a number of applications, and let's say like user, let's say one user, he is looking for product P1, he is looking for n number of time. So by analyzing those result of reducer phase, even your e-commerce site can check the what is the preference of customer, so that some kind of prediction can be applied to produce some fruitful result for the client. Okay, so this is word count demonstration for the Hadoop MapReduce. Now coming to the, I hope this demonstration is fine, clear everyone. Yes, demonstration, it's fine. Any questions up till now? Okay. Now it's interesting, we are having MapReduce for processing. Then why we go for Pig and Hive if MapReduce is there? Because already I told you, I will give like a little bit glimpse of this Pig and Hive also, no? Apart from your Hadoop. So Pig and Hive, they have similar goal. They are tools that ease the complexity of writing MapReduce program. So Pig was basically invented by Yahoo in 2006, and Hive was invented by Facebook in 2008. So Pig and Hive, they are alternative to MapReduce, because if you are not comfortable on Python, don't worry. If you are not comfortable on Java, it's fine. You can go for Pig, you can go for Hive. So basically, they are query language which are used for analysis of your data set. And I would like to share one interesting real-time case study. Recently, we had a I conducted a basically Hive demonstration industry session from the one of the industry. So they analyze the railway data set of northern India through the Hive, and they demonstrated that how they are using Apache Hive for firing the queries over the railway data set of northern India. So basically, Pig and Hive, they are scripting language which are used for firing the queries over the large data set, like your railway data set, your airport data set, okay, your airline data set. So there are multiple applications. So they are alternative of MapReduce processing framework. So Pig the scripting language which is used is Pig 18, and its syntax is more or less equal to your MySQL. And the set of tasks that you can use over the Pig, it is faster compared to MapReduce. Similarly, it is Hive query language whose syntax is more or less equal to your MySQL. But compared to Pig, Hive is faster. In industries, compared to Pig, Hive is used because Hive is having large set of inbuilt functions. So in real-time scenarios, already I told you, industry, they are using Apache Hive for firing queries, for analyzing railway data set, airline data set, and other government data set also. Okay. And Spark, if you relate this Spark is basically used by most of the industries for streaming point of view, because Spark itself having streaming function as well as your processing framework. So these are the different set of tools. Now, before going for future research direction, let me once again relate you with this different set of tool, because this is very important. So these are the different set of tools, like this one: Hadoop, Pig, Hive, Spark, Kafka. So these set of tools, they are used for processing as a storage framework in big data environment. Rest set of tools, they are used like your Tableau, your Power BI, they are used for visualization point of view. So they are itself a single domain. Hadoop itself one complete domain. Spark but itself one complete domain. So if as a graduate candidate, if there are participant as a student, so guys, you should learn Spark, because recently one of my student who was working on Spark, he got internship of 25 lakh in Singapore. So a lot of demand is there from Spark, lot of demand is there from Kafka, Hadoop, Pig and Hive, from intensive point of view, for placement point of view, and for research point of view also. So these are not just a technology for discussion and session. These are really used by the industries. Now coming to the future research direction. So first one is as connected autonomous vehicle. So research can focus on developing efficient data storage, processing and analysis technique that can handle massive data flow from CVs, because connected autonomous vehicle means this is for research point of view. maybe MTech scholar, maybe respective professor and faculties, maybe PhD scholar. So you can create a CAV simulation environment through the different simulation software like Sumo Simulator, and you can basically propose your own big data analytics technique, which will be used for analysis for analyzing the data set which are generating through the communication, which are generating through the sensing environment of your CAV among different vehicles in a hybrid environment, in a cluster head environment. So in that way, big data analytic tool can be used. Like in the edge computing also, future research effort will likely contribute to focus on optimizing edge analytic capability and enabling efficient collaboration between edge and cloud infrastructure. So at the edge node, how you should take decision that my data now it should be go to the cloud or fog. So those kind of decisions you can take with the help of big data analytic algorithm. So you can propose. Even in cloud-based real-time streaming processes, research can focus on developing efficient stream processing system, low latency algorithm, and scalable architecture to handle real-time data analytic workload in the cloud. So this is also another interesting research is integration of machine learning, like your federated learning for privacy preserving analytics in the through the big data analytics. So research can explore federated learning technique for big data analytics, ensuring privacy and security while driving valuable insight from distributed data source. So friend, if you relate this thing, maybe as node, maybe at fog, maybe cloud, maybe everywhere communication is going on, sensor communication is going on, data is generated. So you need to propose your technique in such a way that efficient decision devices can take efficient decision in a automatic environment. And for prediction, you can implement your machine learning technique, maybe federating, maybe other machine learning technique. Okay, so these are the integrating technology now these days. And like if you see other thing also, not only these, research direction can float into blockchain technology, because blockchain may number of block they are connecting with each other. So data is generating through the miner. So how efficiently analytics should be done, through that you can propose your own technique for big data analytics. Image processing. So now everything is related with each other. So it's up to you how you can give the research contribution from your part. So I hope this session was fruitful and learning for the participant. And now I am happy to take any queries from the participant. Yes, participant, any queries?
Hello, participants. For any query?
Yes, we will be having discussion.
Chat, sir. Hello.
Okay, let me see. Okay, please cite one example of MapReduce. Like one standard example we have seen as your word count. Another example is like a real-time example. If you want to analyze like your customer data, click listing data over the e-commerce site. So they are using this MapReduce framework. Netflix, Amazon, Flipkart, they are using at the backend. And if you see from like your network admin point of view, your network admin team, if they are willing to use, they can use basically MapReduce framework for analysis of security loophole from the IP address point of view, for tracing IP address. There are many example in real-time scenario which industry they are using.
Hello, Aditya.
Yes, sir.
So one of my student is working on intrusion detection.
Yes,
so can you suggest that from where he could get the live data stream, and so that we could apply your cloud data platform for the analysis of the traffic?
Sir, for intrusion detection, batteries, they can generate their own data set maybe through
Hmm.
Python. Otherwise, they can go for like Kaggle or
Kaggle is there, but it's
Kaggle sometimes data set, it is not up to the mark that we are
yeah, that's why.
looking for result.
That's why I'm if
I will actually my field is cloud and big data. I will discuss with my security team. Like we are
okay.
having
No, you have written federated learning for privacy preserving analytics.
yes, yes.
So I thought
So
that it must be
I will, Pritish sir, I will personally share you some sort of good URL where you can take the help of data set, which are
Mhm.
authenticated for good publication, maybe journal, maybe transaction.
Okay. So I could get some big data in the field of
Yes, sir.
cyber security so that we could explore this platform.
Yes, sir.
Because nowadays we are just using Python or Colabs to we are not moving towards the code cloud era platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if I could get the data or big data from the cyber security perspective, then
And
really help.
like another thing is if you face that your cloud era is not fulfilling your requirement.
Mhm.
So my suggestion is a scholar should go for Amazon Cloud. They can directly get the Amazon EC2 services, and there are set of steps. They can set up their Hadoop cluster. Now they
Mhm.
don't need to worry about anything for the
Mhm.
computing part. They just propose their algorithm, integrate over there, and get the result.
Okay. So Aditya, we will in touch with you.
Yes,
So
sure, sir.
so we are really thankful for your informative and practical approach of delivering the lecture. It's
Thank you, sir.
very
Thank you, sir.
very few speaker actually they speak in that way. So
Thank
showing
you.
the things practically and making the things happen live, isn't it? So you told lot many things. You told data is almost useless until unless you make sense of it. It's everywhere there is a data, but if you do not make sense of it, it is of not use. You categorize the data, and lot many things you have told. You have told about the tools of the big data architecture, why the big data is, analytics is important. What are the key components of Hadoop? You introduce Hadoop in a very nice way, and what are the functional architecture and all, and you demonstrated the programs. That's what I really impressed me. And you used Cloudera platform. You told about pig and hive scripting languages, and one interesting thing that you have given the future direction of the research, and it will really help some of the faculties member, the research scholar for to guide themselves in that direction. So thank you very much,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all the
Aditya.
coordinator for this FDP as well as dear participant.
We will really be in touch with you in future in your
Sure, sir.
research endeavor.
Sure, sir.
So I hope if you can share your PPT,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will be
I will
sharing.
be very thankful. So some of the
Yes, Vishal sir, I will
participants
be
are
sharing manual file also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Very have a nice presentation and nice talk.
Okay. Thank you,
okay.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, dear participants, we will have our last and third session of today's at 4 p.m. So, we will be taking 1 hour short break in the atomic trap. I don't know, probably some of you knows about the trap, where he was doing FPGA analysis and he was busy in data analysis most of the time. For the data analysis, he normally uses Python Python language for the data analysis, and root also he use root based programming, root platform for the data analysis. Parallelly to Hebrew University position, he was working as a visiting scientist in the Weizmann Institute of Science, Israel. After later on, he moved to USA Presently, he is working as a postdoctoral research associate in the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, USA, University of Tennessee. Okay, so we have our speaker in our group. So, Dr. Hitesh sir, can you please take the charge and start your session?
Thank you very much, Dr. Srivastava, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak at this forum. So, and thanks a lot for such a kind introduction. So let me start by sharing my slides. I hope you can see my screen right now.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for this kind of opportunity. So let me start with my talk. And today I will be talking about using Python for the data analysis. Mostly, I will be introducing it, and I will be introducing the tools which are used for the data analysis. And mostly what I have used for my analysis actually. So, just a second. Okay. So overview. So first, I will introduce the the libraries which are used for the data analysis. Then I will explain what are those libraries, and then I will try to introduce how do you actually read the data in Python, how do you visualize, and what are the tools I used and which I found interesting for visualizing the data, and some of the descriptive and inferential statistics as we go along. What I won't discuss is, of course, I won't be discussing like the basics of Python, like, like because it's just the language, and I won't be discussing the language itself, like loops and variables and these things. And also I won't be discussing like much of the basics of statistics, like, getting mean, median, or how do you get that, how do you fit, how do you get chi-square and things like that. I will be just introducing like how do you get using the Python libraries. So to start, the main library which you actually mostly use, they are synonymous to studying or doing any sort of numerical analysis. They are the must-have are the NumPy and pandas. So NumPy is basically short for numerical Python. It has a powerful n-dimensional array structure, and it has lots and lots of computing tool. Of course, the address is here, and there are many features of NumPy which are very regularly used in Python data analysis. Similarly, if you are doing any sort of analysis in Python, you have pandas. So pandas is like a data frame object for data manipulation. It's like a tabular data format where you can read, write from any sort of format, or like CSV or HDF5 formats. And it allows, similar to Python list, or actually, in fact, it is much more richer than that, like the slicing and doing cuts and slicing the data. So we will go through those. Then, of course, I will be introducing and talking about the science or analysis libraries, which are SciPy, which are the SciPy library, which provide algorithm for optimization, integration, like different problems, for example, curve fitting, differential equations, and whatnot. And then, of course, and then I will be talking about the LMFit. LMFit is a library built on SciPy, or actually it started with SciPy, and it is mostly used for the fitting of the data again. But it makes the task much easier, specifically the scientific fitting, I would say. So I will be discussing that. And then I will be discussing in very, very short, like uproot or pieable and piebroom libraries. Then for data display, I will be discussing or telling you about what are the different libraries in Python, which are the visualization libraries, so such as matplotlib, bokeh, plotly, which is used mostly like in web sort of development, hvplot, and all of this. So these are the libraries I will be talking about. So how do you get Python? Although I I told like what I will be discussing, but how do you actually get Python? So you get Python, first of all, it generally comes already kind of installed on your system, usually, like with this new operating system and in this. But also you can always get it from the Python website, and you can download it from there. And then to install all the libraries, you can get them, all the libraries or packages, you can get them from the PIP package indexer, where they are actually hosted, and you can just download and use them. Usually they're free. So pip is one of the kind of package installer for Python, which you use, and which can be used to get the packages from the web or from the other people's development. So this is the one way of getting Python. Another way which you get Python is using the Anaconda. With Anaconda is actually one of, like few years ago, it used to be one of the, but nowadays it is like, you can say only one package accumulator or package collector, which has all the collection of all the packages you need for your data analysis, for example, in machine learning, in automation, I don't know. So, but it has many collections. Specifically, if you are doing or you want to do any sort of data analysis, Anaconda is the installer, the package you want to get. And from there, you can get all the packages. And then, of course, there is Conda. Conda is the manager or package manager. Again, it's an open source, and it is actually applicable to more languages or more languages than Python. So it is actually applicable to even, like, it can be used for R, Ruby, Lua, Scala, and whatnot, many other languages. Conda is, of course, open source package manager, and it works on all the operating systems. It helps to create and like it helps to create different type of own environment, and you can work on your computer or the cloud. Sorry. So yeah, so this is the way you can actually get Python. This is a second way you can actually install Python. I highly recommend using virtual environment when you are using the Python. You can either use virtual environment by PEEP, or you can use virtual environment by Conda. I usually prefer Conda. So what is actually virtual environment? Virtual environment is mm, a specific directory, or like a separate directory where you have all your packages and your language installed, instead of everything being at one place. So for example, if you want to work with the latest version of something like maybe NumPy, Pandas, or if you developed something by yourself and you want to work with that, and let's say there is something you had developed few years ago and you want to work with that. So both may not be able to exist in the same place. So you want to keep in the different directory, and in those directory you install all of your other stuff. So that is how Conda environment or any virtual environment works. So you can like work on one particular project without affecting another project. And one thing I should mention here is that I like Conda because Conda's it has a much more powerful dependency solver than PEEP. So for example, if some of your package you want to install, and if it is not compatible with whatever is installed in your current virtual environment, it will tell you that, okay, you cannot install the new thing. So I will suggest like advocate like Conda, using Conda environment for Python development or Python data analysis stuff. So okay, yeah. And then usually in your environment, you usually mostly work with the Jupyter. Jupyter is a notebook type of stuff. So you can develop Python or Python package, or you can do your coding using your any text editor such as Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text or anything, your Notepad. But these days, people usually use it with the Jupyter Notebook. This is the most common way of actually developing it. So this is kind of an it is a web-based application interactive development environment, which basically you run in your shell or somewhere, and it runs on your Firefox or your Chrome, and then you work through it. So this is Jupyter. So I talked like, how do you get? So let me just summarize what I just tell. So developmental environment for Python or data analysis is like, first of all, how do you get it? Maybe it's already installed. You get it through Python website. I prefer Anaconda. Then, of course, your packages you get, again, you can use wherever you get. Even if you have got Anaconda, you can use PEEP to install in your particular environment. No problem, but PEEP will not check for your dependency. So there is always a fear. Actually, in fact, I have crashed many a times my existing environment, and I had to reinstall or redo stuff. So I say Conda is usually safer, it will not install. And then of course your workplace or whatever you want to call it, or your place where you want to develop, that is your notebook. It's usually Jupyter. Nowadays it's a Jupyter Lab, which can handle many things like code, or you can use Jupyter Notebook in some web page. So with this, let's, I have, the way I'm talking is like, I'm assuming that you guys have like a computer or something, or at least I have made my slides like that, that how do you install and how do you work and how do the prompt look like. So first of all, on Windows, if you open your Anacondas or Windows prompt, in Linux, you get open terminal, and assuming that Conda is installed or Anaconda is installed, or basically Conda is installed, you can create a virtual environment like this. So you say Conda create, you give a name, and then whatever, like for example, Python data analysis. So this will run, it will say a lot of thing, it will run, and then at the end, it will give you, it will say with the warning that, okay, do you want to activate this environment, or basically the environment is created and you want to either activate it or don't activate it. So first of all, then you want to say that Conda activate Python data analysis. So of course, once you create and you activate, it gets activated. My prompt is slightly fancy, but in whatever prompt you have, it will just, it will say like Python data analysis. And as I said, because if you install Conda or Anaconda, you have all the packages already kind of installed. So if you start Python, it will start, and suppose you want to start working with NumPy. So you will say, okay, import NumPy as NP, and it will be already installed. You can check the version. In my computer, it is currently throwing some warning. I think maybe because of Intel, but it's working fine. So it is happening very recently. So this is how you get your Python. Of course, you can create an environment without any packages. So for that, you just say Conda create, give the name of the whatever, like say I'm calling it Python data analysis blank, and it will have only kind of your Python, the basic Python in it, and nothing else. So if you start Python here and want to call NumPy, it will throw an error saying that module not found error, no module named NumPy. So with this, you can't have basically NumPy, but like you can install it. You can say Conda install NumPy, and then of course you can give whatever version you want to give. For example, currently in my last slide, when it was installed automatically, it was the latest version 1.24.3, but it can be like if you want to install the previous version, you can install 1.05 to 4.1. So this is how you basically install some packages if you like. So this is how you basically start your work. So then in your prompt, you want to start, let's say, Jupyter Notebook, which is I usually prefer to work with when I'm working with Python, or especially for my analysis sort of work. So when you start Jupyter Notebook, it will open a web page, which will be like the address localhost/8889/3, and it will have all this like files running. This NB extension may not be present in your notebook because it is something you have to install separately. It is just, it makes your notebook slightly more helpful with table of contents and etc. But otherwise it will be like blank. Then you can just say here and go to new and create some new notebook. So let's say I have created a notebook which is called Python data analysis notebook. So with this, you get like blank Python kind of prompt. So each cell here is basically a place where you can start coding, you can start writing your code. And also you can create new code, you can delete cells, sorry. So you can basically get the new cell, you can delete previous cell, you can run, you can start the kernel. Here it says which kernel it is. It says Python 3. You can change that kernel because it's actually much more flexible. Jupyter Notebook can work with different languages also, but for now, we will be talking just about Python. So we will have our Python kernel here. You have cells and etc. Then, of course, you if you press help here, and so it will tells you what are the shortcuts, or what are the, like, how do you start coding in your Jupyter Notebook. So yeah, so for example, yeah, so let me start with, so yeah, I forgot to tell yes this. So again, each cell in your notebook is either, it can be a code, it can be a markdown, or it can be a raw NB convert. So it's a raw notebook. So this is used by something called NB convert, which converts your notebook into sometimes LaTeX, maybe Python, in PDF, or whatever format you want to make, or HTML, JSON, or so that can be your code, cell type. Then of course, normal or the default type is code, and markdown is for making comments. For example, here it says import libraries. And of course, then you shift enter and it will execute the cell. So now let's start with NumPy. So NumPy, let me just give you the overview of NumPy. It has like many arrays, like basically it's just one type actually, ND array, and then you can do its shaping, you can perform different mathematical operations on it. You can go and do indexing, slicing, you can do broadcasting. The arrays themselves, they are like structured list of numbers, and they can be like on the zero, here it's not written, but on the zeroth order, like order 0, it's like scalar. Then of course, if you have 1D array, they're vectors, then matrices. Matrices, if you have each matrix element by 3, like those are either you can think of them as tensor, or also they are actually images also. And coordinates are different, again, type of an array. Yeah, so this is how basically 1D, 2D, and 3D arrays. So let's start, like, so NumPy array, you have array NP 1 0. So this is like, I had in my last here, I had import NumPy as NP. And an array, so you start, or let's say you want to make an array of 7 with just ones. So you will say np.ones, and it creates an array with the 7 elements. And you can actually look at the property of that array, which is basically, it can have, so this array has a, where is my mouse? Yeah. It has it can have like dimension and dimension. It has a property of n dimension. It has property of shape or d type. And of course, you can see like it has only 1 dimension, or shape is like 7. D type is float. Here is the float. You can create, so NumPy has a different like ways of creating arrays. For example, you can just say zeros, you want zeros. You can say you want to arrange them in 1, 2, 3, 4. So arrange is a function which generates that. if you want to make it in float, or if you want to make it into integer, you can do that. Default is of course float. Then from your list, which is the default file type in Python, you can get the NumPy arrays, which is like 2D array. Now, what can you do with the array? So first thing you can do is like, as I already discussed in the summary earlier, is like shaping of the array. So you generated an 1D array, which is of 10, but you want to reshape it and want to make it 2D matrix. Then you will have to, of course, give proper dimension, that is 25, 10, and you can reshape it, and you will have a different sort of array. So here, for example, you can arrange like make array dot reshape, and it will give you 2x5 array, or you can just in one line you can say that np dot arrange and then reshape it, and you have this array. You can reshape it and then transpose it also. So because it's a matrix manipulation or matrix, you can just simply flip it. And NumPy also gives you an option to actually just create random numbers or whatever data you want to create array, but you can actually easily save them into whatever file you want to save. So this is how, like, these are some of the feature. Of course, like, I don't think I can tell about all the feature and all the functions in NumPy, but this is what I'm just trying to introduce, like what are these matrices, what are some of those property of these matrices are. Then, of course, the very important part of NumPy is, of course, indexing. So when it is indexing, you can have like, so first of all, let's define an array, which is like x is equal to np.arrange reshape. Of course, so we have made our arrays like 4 into 3 and 4 rows and 3 columns array, which is here. Now, indexing helps us to identify each element of our NumPy array. So, for example, if you want to pick up this, we want to go like x00, or if you want to pick like first row and last column, we will say 0 minus 1, and you got this element, this element 2. You can then either like get only first rows and all the entries. If you want, you can get by this using colon, and you can also, like, instead of getting the whole row or whole column, you can just get some part of it by just putting like proper indexes here, and you get that particular first column and some of the elements of that. So this is how the indexing in NumPy works. It can be made slightly more complicated or advanced, let's say. So here I have a bigger NumPy array, and you have this guy, and I have arranged it into 6 into 8. And I want to pick only, let's say, first element, and then second, fourth, sixth, and suppose I had like 100,000 by 1,000, I want to go on and on and on. So how do I do that? I just put like x0 and then start, stop, and I just put some step. So I get like some sort of slightly more advanced slicing in here. It's like, of course, you can have conditional based slicing also, which is like, if you have, I have an array which is 50 into random, and then I'm reshaping it, and I want, okay, let's condition it and ask how many of them are less than 25. So we get some true false value. We can just put this true false value in that array index, and we get this just those indices, not all the indexes. Of course, here your indexing or the order of matrix is gone. You will just get 1D matrix here. Now, NumPy allows you to do very mathematical operations. So you can have A is equal to, you can just have one array. You can multiply it by 5, let's say, for example, and add them. For adding them, they have to be same size, or at least the sizes should be broadcastable. What do I mean by that? You have to have so A is this array, and then B is 5 into 1, so so this size or shape of this is 0, 1. So because it's 1 and this is 10, it can easily multiply and it can be broadcasted. This can broadcasted to the size. B can be broadcasted to the size of A. That's why we can actually add. And here it just add B to each element of A. Then you have not just adding subtraction, you can apply some mathematical function like square root or I don't know, exponential or any function. For example, here it's a square root. And then of course, one more example, which is sine. So just A, and I'm taking the sine of that. So these are mathematical operations you can do. Now, let's move to pandas, because I think this is enough introduction about NumPy, what you can get. Basically, the matrices, you can do some very sophisticated operations, and suppose you get the slicing on these matrices. But let us now move to the second form of data, which is basic data in our analysis thing, or in data analysis, which is pandas. So pandas is basically, it is kind of a table, or it's instead of Excel sheet, or you have big tables, and you can, this is very, very extensive, and you can get so for example, if you want to create a data frame, how do you create a pandas data frame? You can just read it from even web page, and if the web page has some proper file, or it will just generate the table, and it will just give you that, okay, you generated the table of whatever shape the file had. Then of course you have your not just CSV, it can read any sort of file on the pandas, and it can give you the data frame. So it supports lots of type like Excel, HDF5, HTML, JSON, whatnot. So many different. Suppose you are working in your code, or you have some data, and if you have some dictionary or something, from there also you can actually generate the pandas data frame. So for example, in this case, I have one NumPy array A, second NumPy array B, and a third NumPy array C, and I'm just making a dictionary. This is just a Python dictionary, and I make a dictionary, and from the dictionary you can just make the data frame. So you can also make a data frame like this. So what does the data frame have? So let's see. So we got a data frame. So in my, usually this file is data stuff.dot. This is usually given in certain root program. They ship it with that. So I just use that. So I'm just reading it from there. And I'm reading. So first of all, I'm reading, and it has many columns. So in that directory, or in that file, it did not have actually the the header. So I had to put header none, but if it had header, it will automatically read. The Panda is that clever that it can read that. Delimiter in my case was space, so just that. So I read that file, I give the column name, and just I want to see how does it look. So when I say df.head, it will give me just like first 5 rows of that data frame with the column names, which is very handy if you want to inspect your data. You can look at the shape or like what it contains and whatnot. So this is how you basically get your data frame. Of course, you can have tail, head and tail, and different structure. Now, if you want to select one of the columns, you can select it either saying df, and then in this quotation mark, you can either say service or or you can say df.service, and you will have your new, basically new object, which is basically your series. I will talk about it slightly more maybe in the next slide. So, and then of course you can do operations like you can do the service and you want to take the mean of that. So it will give the mean of all this column and it will just produce a number. So, very easily without writing too much code as you would write in C, C++, you can just very easily get this mean, for example. This is a very simple example, but yeah. So just let us see some of the properties our data frame has, because of course, again, this list is also long and may not be that long as big as like how many functions this pandas data frame has. But so I want to just go through some of the properties which all the pandas data frame has. That is like D types, which is the type of the data, columns, how many columns and what is the name of the columns, access, number of dimensions, size, shape, and values. So these are actually the properties of this data frame. So these are, you don't call them, you just read these guys. Like, so in here, for example, I read like, if I want to read the flag and the data type of it just says integer 64. So flag here was integer, and I made one of them specifically cost of like made float, and just to show you. So, and if I say df.dtypes, it shows the data frame and data types for all the columns. Now, similar to NumPy, pandas also have like quite extensive indexing. Actually, it can have like a very complicated sort of index, and you can do very nice slicing on the data frames to get whatever part of data frame you want to get to. So many ways to get subset of the data frame. You can get like one or more column, of course, one or more arrays, or subset of row or columns. How do you do that? So first, for example, if you want to in my all the example, mostly my data frame is the same which I had made, so which is df, and this is the data frame which has category, flag, age, service, channel, grape, step, hour, cost, division, nation. So these are the columns it has. So it will be just df service, and this object is which we get is the series, pandas series. Now, you can get like more than one column instead of just one column, so you can have like 2 columns, and this part which will give is the data frame and not the series. Again, you can actually get data frame not starting from 0, but because I'm slicing it here from 10 to 30, So, and I'm putting head on it, and so it is only producing first five rows, and it will give me this like data frame dot head, and it's just the first 5 rows. So this is how you get like a row slicing, and you can do complicated stuff, or let's say you want to get slightly more slice of it. So you have service grade like 2 columns and this particular rows, and you get here. You can do the same with some function called ilog, which is a very important function of the data frame, and you can get like 0, 2nd, and 30th row only, and 4 and 5 column. So this is what you get. So this is how you basically index data frame. Then you want to explore your data frame. So of course, as I already talked about, you can have head or tail. So whatever number you put, whether it's 3 and 4 in this case, it will show that many rows and columns. It can do some descriptive statistics for you by default. That is, you just want to kind of, let's say, read the maximum or minimum. So it will give whichever is the numerical columns. For them, it will return like max, min. You can ask for the mean, median. So all the descriptive statistics which you usually have in your pocket, like mean, median, standard deviation, and of course this is interesting. It returns like random samples from your data frame. That is, you sample. Then you have drop na and describe. So drop na, basically na is short for NaN. So NaN in Python is usually, or NumPy is not a number. So if your data is somewhere missing while making a data frame, pandas make it NaN or not a number. So if you want to drop such rows, you can just do this and you will drop all that rows. And at last, the describe you, as I said, generate descriptive statistic, but it only does for the numeric column, of course, for which it makes sense. So now, now I will go through some of the functions of pandas, which I think have been very, very useful to me during my work. Of course, there are hundreds of functions to pandas, and I like almost, you use them as you need them usually. That is how at least I learned. So first function to look for is very helpful, which is group by function. A group by operation actually involves a combination of splitting the object, applying a function, and combining the results. So in our data frame, suppose we want to group by, let's say, child, or how many child the staff officer has on general. So it will just generate like it will group by that, and it will generate this object, which is the pandas group by generic data frame group by object at the. So this is the address, and it will give you that. But suppose I want to do some on these groups. I want to do some sort of arithmetic or some. I want to get the mean of it. So for each group, actually, it had like people had children from starting from 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It went till 6. And for each of these groups, so 0 group had like many entries, but it did the mean of all. For category, it generated this number. For flag, for average, like, so from here you can say like the person with the 0 children has a mean age of 48. So it grouped and then took a mean of it. So this is how helpful the group for function is. So you can group by one particular column and do mean on other columns, and you can get that. And of course, you can do any other operation. You can even make your function and apply on that particular group and use that. The second function which I want to go through is the AGG or aggregator function. Again, it aggregates using one or more. Actually, more is important here because mean one function we could do with the group by function itself. So here we can do more. And for example, if in my same case, if I want to aggregate group by child, I'm grouping by child. So here in the left hand side, now you see the indexing of the pandas is getting complicated or more advanced actually. So now it has 3 index. So first index is child. So we had like 0, 1, 2 children's or child's, and then of course we had like min max, which we want to get for all the other columns. So this is what it did. So it aggregated by child and group by child and get the aggregated like mean and max for all the columns. And here again, I'm printing till 3 only. The children number, the maximum number of children was 6. Productive people, that's it. Okay, so this aggregated function can be much more complicated than that. For example, here for all the columns, it is producing only mean, max, min, max. But you can ask it to give you not just mean, max, but sum, mean, or mean, max, or count, standard deviation. Whichever different thing you want to get, you can actually get on what column also you can specify. So this is how like advanced or it can get or it can give you. So this is very helpful function if you want to develop or do some analysis on your data. Then the one function which I actually absolutely love is query. With this, again, like NumPy, you could actually do, just conditional thing like child less than 2, and then you can get whichever thing, whichever data frames people like, whichever row satisfy that condition, it will be displayed or you will get that. But with the query, you can have more advanced or more complicated or more fanciful cuts here. So it's like root cut actually. So you can have more complicated cuts and you can get more through query, you can apply a different type of cut and you get the result. So this is the pandas query. And of course, there are many functions in pandas. So I'm not going through more of them. But one thing or one class of functions which are important, that's why I'm mentioning them here, is drop now or drop methods actually. So whenever you want to drop some missing data, you want to use drop now. So drop now actually drops all the not a number of rows. But again, it can like this sort of function can like fill now, so which will replace with 0. It can like threshold is equal to 5. So you can tell that, okay, if there is suppose your data frame has 20 columns and at least if like non-number is less than 5, sorry, more than, so is the numbered one or less than 5, you just drop that row. So at least 5 columns should have numbers. So that is how you use them. So these are the functions for dropping not a number sort of rows. Now, so we went through like NumPy, pandas, and let's go to the visualization library. So the default one, or the one which is mostly widely all the people actually use, is matplotlib. Specifically in the scientific community, people use matplotlib. Actually, people who develop web applications usually, I think, use Plotly. But I like hollow views and HV plots, so I will be talking about those. Maybe it will be the new for some of the people. So Matplotlib is, as I said, it is widely used. So again, it has more reach and more people use it. So again, scientific community use it. So it can create publication quality plots. It can make interactive figure that can zoom, pan, update, of course, but it's not by default. You have to make them this, at least interactive part of it. Again, you can customize visual style, export to files. It is already comes in the Jupyter notebook, so you just write this and this will be displayed. And again, like many arrays are built on it, like third-party packages use Matplotlib. I actually extensively use it in my own programming or the packages I have developed, not packages, but the modules I have developed for our experiments. So yeah, it is indeed a very important library. So how do you use it? So you say import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So here I'm just arranging the data from 0 to 3 pi in the step of 0.1. I do cos, numpy cos, again numpy function useful here. And I just say plt.plot and it will plot it. So this is a good way of plotting it. But I do like this library, which is again open source Python library designed to make seamless and simple. So and with HoloViews, you can usually express what you want to do in very few little line of code. This part is what I like. So in my notebooks, I usually use HoloViews. How do you do that? You just say, for example, first of all, you import HoloViews at HV, and it uses bokeh as an backend. I will just explain next few slides what that is. And then you just say hv.curve, then x and y were your data, which you had earlier defined. And I'm just putting some, you cannot put this also label or, so you can just in one line, you can put all of this and your plot is ready. And by default, unlike Matplotlib, this plot is panable, zoomable, and you can just look. So it is very, very helpful if you want to look into your data, if you want to look at the features of your data. Again, just one more example, which is maybe slightly more useful, is like you just make one object of this holo views, and let's say it's a cost plot. I'm calling it cost. Second object sign, and I'm just multiplying it, and I get this nice plot with all these details here already. So it can basically overlay or it can make different layouts. So if I say plus, it will be the two different plots side by side. But because it is multiplication, they are on top of each other. So this is very highly interactive and very highly useful for me. So that's how you use it. Again, let's go back to pandas one more time, because that is where the analysis is happening. So what has happened is in the pandas data frame itself, you have your plotting embedded in that. So it can generate like series or time series or histogram or scatter plot or curves or whatever sort of you want to plot it. So you can say just our data frame df.age, and if you want to plot, and if you want to line, so you just say that, and it gives you the matplotlib object in the pandas data frame itself. So you have your plot here. Now, the same similarities, same functionality is available with the HoloViews also. But for that, what you have to do is you have to import a different thing, which is called from htplot import pandas. And this will, it's called some sort of overloading, functional overloading in Python. So it will overload your Python module with hvplot pandas module. And now you can say, okay, my data frame df dot h, that is the column, and then instead of plot, you say hvplot, and then you say line, and it can generate that line. You can add to it, and you can say df.h hvplot, and you want to get a histogram this time of the h column, so you get a histogram. So this is how you can generate an interactive graph using HoloViews and hvplot. But how is hvplot is basically high level API, and actually HoloViews can use matplotlib. So first, so HoloView, or sorry, both HoloViews and hvplot actually can use matplotlib. So how does they work? So first of all, you have like your data libraries or your libraries here, which are like pandas, geopandas, dask array, or x array. Then you overload them with your hvplot, and you put your API there. Then it uses HoloViews in the backend. HoloViews in turn uses any of this, either Plotly or Matplotlib or Bokeh to actually output the plot. So this is how these guys work to give you the plot. So again, the plotting, it's a simple plotting if you do it with some diligently or with some, say, nice tools. It can give much insight. For example, I don't know, I'm sure that Matplotlib will also be able to handle this or will do this, but I don't know how to do that in that. But in here, I do it by df hvplot.scatter, and you want x. So first of all, here, this is not the same data frame as what we use till now, because I did not use it because it was not generating nice plots. So I just use this example from their website, from the whole hvplot website. So yeah, you want to plot bill length against bill depth, and you want to scatter or differentiate by species. Now I had my mouse here while taking this. I had actually put my mouse here on the dot, so that's why it's showing this also. What is this detail of these points? So you get this nice looking plot and nice details about the plot in the box. So, and again, it has differentiated them by the species. Now, so this was one of the example of how you can just plot very nice data with hvplot or pandas or similarly, you can just simply, which we use, at least I use in like error bar and the data points, scatter data point. You can also plot them very nicely and easily in pandas with using hvplot. So this is how we do it. Now, how do we analyze, like I'm coming to like actual, let's say, we can say it an infra statistic part of it. So how do we analyze it and get some insight? Not just insight, I would say, how do you predict, infer things from your data? How do you, basically I do curve fitting, like least square, chi-square fitting. So for that, I use SciPy or LMFit. So how do you do the fitting here? You use for fitting, you do like scipy.optimize and you import curve fit from there. you get, you first of all define your function, define a function like function x, a, b, c, and this is your function. You want to fit to this function, which is an exponential. So I'm generating some random data. So x data is np.linspace. So this is, again, you will see, since like I started with NumPy, pandas is filled with NumPy. So basically pandas is built on NumPy. And then you will find, like in many of the example, you can use pandas here. So they are like accumulating now. So it's very nice to have a good grasp on NumPy actually. Like it's so much ubiquitous here that it's everywhere in the data analysis structure or framework. So x data is equal to NumPy linspace this u y, and of course there is some range random ringing type data. Then I'm generating noise, and with the normal noise actually. And then so basically this is generating like random data so that we will fit to it. And if I plot, sorry, it should have plotted here, but okay. But let's first fit now. So we had imported curve fit function from scipy.optimize. So we got that function here. So with that function, you give the function which we define, and x data and y data, and you feed that. It gives you like optimized parameters and the covariance matrix. So you can actually so in here I'm just plotting it or making that plot object, but not actually plotting here. I'm just asking it to keep that ready. Yeah, so here also it kept the data ready to be plotted. Here it kept fit to be ready, and here it is. Again, I'm doing the fitting, but with now I'm constraining A, B, and C. So with that, I'm fitting again. So once we do that, when we plot them, we get a nice fit with the parameters and the covariance matrix. So this is what we get. So this is with SciPy. And of course, once you get your covariance matrix, you get the error bar or range of your fitting or errors in your fitting. But I usually use this LMFit, which is, it provides the high-level interface to nonlinear optimization curve fitting problems of Python. It was built, actually, it was started from this SciPy optimize because it uses LM. I forgot the name of this. These are the initial of two people who wrote this very robust algorithm to reach or minimizing code to get the chi-square fitting. So that is where the LM part comes. But nowadays it provides like lot more functionalities or enhancement and uses like float as instead of using plain float, it uses parameter. And also it allows for ease of changing of algorithm, fitting algorithm. And again, it has like many built-in methods for common line shapes like Gaussian or Lorentzian or many more. So yeah. Now, how do we fit in that in LM fit? So we get like First of all, I'm importing the data right in this case. So I'm loading the data into the NumPy array. And then I'm, oops, sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm importing the data here, xy, and making a function which is Gaussian function, and then making a model out of this Gaussian function, and then making a fit. So just like 4 or 5 lines, and we just fit it with this with this lmfit module, and it generated the report. And this report is actually very nice report where you have like, you know, which model you use, which fitting method you use, how many time it evolved or did the evaluation, how many data points it used, variables, number of variables, of course, reduced chi-square because we did like least square fitting, which is actually here we did not in the fitting. Here we did not actually specify, but we can specify which sort of method we want to use. So, but default is least square, so it uses least square, which is in most of the cases is good enough. So then we have like reduce it reports the reduced chi-square. Of course, in this case, it's not much value because it did not have error bar. But yes, so we get all of this important information out of it. Then we have like amplitude. So it gives you the fitted parameter and correlation. And here it reports only the correlation which are greater than the 0.1. So there is a big correlation between amplitude and width. So, and again, we are plotting them. So data initial fit was here, and then when it fitted, best fit was nicely fitted to the data. This is how actually you fit simple data, or not simple, but most of the time, or in many of the cases, this fit is good enough. In of course, your functions will become advanced, or your you will use some log type fitting or something like that. But this is the model which can handle all of that, and it just works nicely. But when you want to fit in many, like, you know, for many, let's say, many data sets, so you want to get these results nicely. So we have one more library which is helpful in getting those results. So which is called PyBroom. It's a small Python 3 library for converting collection of fit results into pandas data frame. So what we do is we get this pandas data frame, and then you can actually use them very nicely to see the results or analyze the result, look at the result. So you just take those, import PyBroom as Brom, and take that result which was generated in the last slide, and you just put it into the pandas data frame, and you say head, and it will just tell you, okay, you fitted again. The same thing, but the reason I'm telling you this is because this was or is usually super helpful when you are analyzing many files, because result which this library gives is not that is not a nicely structured thing. So if you want to get more information, you will have to build your own either your structures or list, but this thing is very robust or useful. So and it gives like 3 methods of preserving the data which you want. So for example, if you want only small data, which is like what was the chi-square, like if you want to just look at the quality of the fit, you just need these numbers and you are fine. But if you want more details, like you want and the values in the fitting of the parameters, you get this different data frame, and you can record that. And if you want the data, base fit and residual, you have this third data frame and you can actually collect that from that fit. So this is how you basically fit, and this is how actually I use. Now I will go to some of my own kind of work. So here there is not much, but because like I cannot kind of share, not because of the legal issue, but there are such big notebooks, like hundreds of lines of code. So I'm just made, for example, this is one of the paper we published like when I was in Israel. So the experiment was looking at isotope shift in 2022 neon. So there are two isotopes of neon, that is 20 and 22, and we were looking at the shift in one of the transition, and we were measuring it very, very precisely. So we did like hundreds or thousands of measurements and tried to measure that shift in that line because of the mass change in the nuclei, neon nuclei. So for that, I had written like a notebook and went through all the data. So it had like, we had to prepare list, take the data. So all of this like is a bunch of lines of codes and codes and code you have to fit. And so I'm just not sharing that, but I just wanted to emphasize that it helped us publish a nice result. And all this used only what I just told, actually. Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, in fact, and LMFit and HoloViews. And we got nice results there. Similarly, in our experiment here, I don't have really anything to show, but in this result also, which is published, is also we have used these techniques or techniques to produce or analyze the data and get the results, and where we constrain new physics with the novel measurement of beta decay branching ratio. So here we were measuring the branching ratio between the daughter state of neon. So which state the neon decays to. And in our current experiment, actually, which I'm currently involved in, which is called NAB experiment, which is happening at the Oak Ridge National Lab. So we use, so again, I cannot emphasize this more because we are using only NumPy, Pandas, and SciPy to get and analyze a petabyte of data. And we will, because this analysis is not complete, or even actually experiment is not started taking data, but once started, this will generate petabytes of data, and we will analyze them using this basically NumPy module. You can actually get this with PEEP, install NumPy, and this is used for like such a huge data analysis. So yeah, so that is what I think I had to say. I would like to thank you all for listening to me. Thanks a lot. Anything question I would
Thank you, Dr. Hitesh, for a very nice and detailed presentation. There is a question from audience that how Python analysis is different from MATLAB.
Oh my God, so many questions. Sorry, I did not look into the chat box.
No. Yes, only one question.
Oh, there is only one. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
one query.
How is Python analysis is different than MATLAB?
MATLAB, yes. Which language?
I'm
Uh,
not very sure that it is different basically. Yeah, because NumPy is also like matrix and MATLAB is matrix lab. It may sound like, okay, they are the same, but the one or bigger difference I would say is, first of all, is MATLAB is commercial, Python is
Yes,
free. That
Python
is
is
the
free.
huge win for actually Python. And second is, I feel that once you start getting to the core of it, for example, it happened to us with LabVIEW, for example. In fact, you can actually do a lot of analysis with LabVIEW. But when you want to go to like, to the base of the core where you want to change fundamental stuff, it is tough to change them or make them as you want to do by yourself. So for example, LabVIEW people, they told us, no, you cannot change this. We will change it for you and then give you the version. So maybe with the MATLAB, it may happen the same or similar thing. Like you may have for some particular function which you need to come up. Suppose you think that, okay, some way you can actually boost the productivity of your code or if your workflow, but maybe it will happen that, okay, MATLAB does not have that, and you may not have the access to the code base of MATLAB. But in Python, you will have that access. So it will be
And,
hard.
and actually free access. It is freely available.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
for the beginner, they can use as a start point as a Python for their data analysis, learning, etc. And thank you very much, Dr. Ritesh. You have very nicely explained the SciPy and the data analysis using Python language on Jupyter Notebook. Step by step, class has been taken. Like this session is useful for beginners, very who has just started their career in data science and data analysis, and they don't know even how to start writing a code. So they can easily adopt Python for at their start, and they may be comfortable after with Python because this is freely available software language, and we can
Yeah.
use. Yes, but MATLAB is not freely available software. This is, I agree, and so at the start it is good. So very nice
Yeah,
and
even
informative.
not that, that is what I was trying to say, not even just start, even for later, for example, like at least in our case, even for example, these days root is going toward pyroot. So
Yes, yes, yes,
uh,
yes, yes, yes.
uh, what I'm trying to say is like and anyway, I don't have to say or emphasize this part too much that these days everything or everyone is actually going after Python, especially like big data and machine learning. Of course, this whole this program about the machine learning also.
And yes, and I would like to add that if someone is dealing with the data and that is non-linear in behavior, so LMFIT is a good option. There are several means like if you have skew Gaussian type of data, so use LMFIT. This is basically non-linear square minimization for curve fitting. So that will be very useful. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Hitesh, once again, and thank you, everyone. We will start our third day session tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay.